Good evening, y'all. Back again. Did it work? Did y'all see it? The intro? Can y'all hear me? I'm just trying this new edit, checking to see if it worked or not. Hey, Dorinda, Garrett, Ship Kicker. Dorinda, tell me if the intro worked. I don't know if this is working or not. Nobody's saying anything. It worked. Awesome. And you can hear me. Can you hear me? You can hear me if you answered me. It worked. Okay. Yay. Did you like it? Gigi was so sweet to make that for me, and she did an amazing job with everything that I asked of her. I really love it. I have a lot going on in my house right now, so my camera's off, and I'm so sorry for that. One of these days, I'm going to have my room. Yeah, I love horses, so of course, horses had to be in there on the beach because I love the beach too. The title is The Awakening, and in the description, there is a link to a movie called Awakened. And on a positive note, hopefully to everybody it's positive. With everything that's going on right now, the awakening is, to me, we have all been brought together for some reason through all the channels. All the channels need to be working together. We can't have division, can't have the bickering. We got to stand together. That's our only way that we're going to survive this. And that is, God has brought us together, and it's through God that we're going to get through this. And so that's pretty much what that movie says also. The Awakened is the indigenous people that have gotten together, and this is all the nations, this is worldwide that this is happening, and they are coming together in prayer and ministry, and um, I think that that's God's plan, that we're going to become one world, but not in the sense that we're being told by the people running this place, supposedly running this place. I don't know. I just, um, we have to have a lot of love and a lot of forgiveness. People are going to say things that rub you the wrong way, and you got to let it go. Let it bounce off. Start putting on the armor of God, and nope, this isn't going to bother me. Um, there's too many other important things out there that we need to pay attention to. Words are just words. Um, Actions are actions, but at the same time, uh, we can get past that too. We're going to be kind, Dorinda, right?
I'm always kind, Bonnie.
I know.
I just get a little pissy when there's evil around. Put it
And
that way.
okay, and we are rebuking that evil right here and now. We are rebuking
Oof.
the evil. We are rebuking the control. We are rebuking the push. We are rebuking the all of it. We
We
are
will not
not.
comply.
We will not comply, and we are not going to take it. And if it means building a village wherever you're at, build that village to
Yep.
teach your children to make it through this stuff, because we're going to have to depend on through the web. Yes, we are all connected, and I know that we need to be here right now. And I wasn't going to do this anymore, but I feel like, yeah, I kind of need to say what I need to say. I have prayed, I have studied, and I have prayed some more, and I just feel like if any of us can have a voice out there, the more voices we have, the stronger we're going to be.
That is
And
correct.
each person, I don't care who you are, each person in this whole thing is a light. And the more lights we get shining,
The better it is.
it's going to drive the darkness away.
Yeah.
That's
And I'm sorry, Bonnie. I missed the first few minutes of your talking.
so
I
you
think
missed my intro?
I did, and I'm sorry. So, what were you talking about?
I don't know, what was I talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I was not. I was here, but I thought I had the volume on, and I was out checking a craft video, and I came back and the volume wasn't on, and I'm like, oh frick, she's already started. Oh crap! Oh crap!
I was just saying that I don't know what you heard and what you didn't. Words,
Well,
words. We
when I
have.
went in the studio was when I got here, so I didn't hear any of it.
Hmm. Well, you'll have to rewatch it, huh?
Okay, I can do that.
Because that was a lot of words. Okay, you want me to show my intro again? I just love it. Gigi did an amazing job,
Okay, I want to see it. Yeah.
and I don't know how many are on here. Two.
Oh, looks
Okay.
like Garrett. Shift Kicker was here earlier, but I think he left.
Yeah, I saw that. Dadgummit. Is Shift Kicker a male? You
I
know,
don't know.
a lot of these names I don't know either. I'm kind of like,
The picture kind of looks like a man, but I don't know.
And I can't see their pictures. You know, that's what's weird. When you do a channel,
Yeah.
the little ball next to the name
Yeah.
has a red YouTube symbol over it. And so I can't see anybody.
Well, it's got a red, looks like a plaything. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, but okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna see if I can do this again. Cause I just love it.
Okay, good. I'm gonna love it too. I'm a sure. I'm a sure.
See if I can do it without losing everybody. Okay. Um this tab and this
Share.
and this and play. And I can't believe I figured out how to do it.
Is that you, Bonnie?
How I wish. No, it's been a couple of years since I've been on a horse. Just a couple.
That was freaking awesome. I like it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So where's Gigi tonight?
I don't know. I told her she better be here.
She better. I was over on Angels with Silver Girl and Angel and Fixter, and I'm like, I gotta go. And they're like, where are you going? I said, Bonnie's coming on tonight. I said, and I have to be there.
Yeah, I was on Liberty and they were ending up. So I thought, well, I better make sure that I can get the uh,
Intro.
intro going and before anybody gets over here. And Sweet Garrett came and is keeping me company. But
Well, I was here too, but I kind of left for a minute.
yeah,
Because you
no,
weren't here yet. So I'm like, okay, she must still be on Liberty. So I clicked over and I was watching a craft video.
no. That's for good. Anything that gives you peace of mind, taking care of yourself, do it.
Yep. Like the ones I've been watching today are more uh I watched how to make a dresser, like a table, like a table that has like a bottle of wine and just a little stuff on it.
Yes.
Only made out of cardboard,
Oh, wow.
but it was so intricate and so phenomenal that I've been like freaking watching shit like that all day. I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna make stuff. I'm gonna make stuff. Yeah, I got so much stuff to make now. It's just crazy.
I watch a lot of the cement ones. I mean, you can just make anything out of cement. And
Yeah, well, one I watched today had a towel and well, they had a bucket first, and they had a towel and they had cement, and they
yes,
put the towel in the cement and put it
yes,
over the bucket, and she made
yes,
a table out of it.
yes, yeah.
I was
That's
like, what the fuck?
that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And then you can paint it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
I've seen her fill shoes full of cement, just old shoes that nobody uses anymore,
Yeah.
and cover them with the cement and then put them on a flat to make planter boxes.
Yep.
And so you can put dirt inside the shoes even. That that okay, I lied. She didn't fill the shoes with cement, she just coated them with cement. And
Mm-hmm.
so then you can put a little dirt in there and put some succulents or something small coming out of the shoes, and then you got the square in the middle where you can plant the big plant. I
Mm-hmm.
saw them plant a banana tree. They put a bunch of bananas in the pot, then they put the dirt, and then they stuck a banana in the top, and it grew into a banana tree. And I said, "Oh, when spring gets here, I'm getting me some green bananas."
Wow, I didn't really know you could grow bananas from bananas, so that's
I didn't
interesting.
either.
I know you can grow tomato plants from tomatoes. I've done
Yes.
that. Cut up the tomato and throw it in the ground. I've done that.
Yeah.
That was interesting to find out. I'm like, why the fuck am I buying tomato seeds then?
Yes. And that's harvesting your seeds. You keep your seeds, let them dry out, and you save them for the next year. And there's your
Yeah, but if you don't like, you can buy the tomato, like say, buy a beefsteak tomato,
right.
and you slice it and throw the slices in the ground, and it will grow.
Yes. Yes, it will.
I was stunned to find that out 2 years ago, and I've been doing that ever since.
I prefer the aromas, but
Yeah.
yep.
Well, my husband likes the beefsteak,
Yeah.
so I do beefsteak and romas. I like the cherry tomatoes, and he gets
Yeah.
mad because I have like 15, 20 fucking cherry tomatoes, and we can never eat them all.
I have been looking for a cherry tomato plant. Well, if you can do that with the cherry tomatoes too, though, the girls are always buying cherry tomatoes.
Just slice them up and throw them in the ground.
What a great idea.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I knew that would work because our compost when I was growing up, because we had a massive, massive garden. My grandmother insisted, and um, the stuff growing in the compost looked sometimes better than what was growing in the garden.
Yep. Hey, John, John. Hey, Garrett.
Hi, John. John, how are you?
I'll be right back.
All right.
Have to go pee.
Oh, that just makes me so mad. The DOJ is suing Texas. Don't mess with Texas. You grow tomatoes every year. Yeah. Well, that was because I can't get out in a garden anymore and work. Arthritis is kind of taken over. But um, so I started a just on my deck where I could get to it easily using the 5-gallon buckets. And I did tomatoes and squash just to see what would happen. And um, my tomatoes are still producing, and the squash didn't do it all. It did the flowers, but never any squash. So I don't think a 5-gallon bucket is a good idea for squash. It's not going to work. Um, I think you can do potatoes and oh, yep, cherry and celebrity, late February, and you're in Louisiana. I'll have to remember that because I thought it was too cold then. But well, you have a greenhouse. I don't have a greenhouse, so I'd probably start mine in March. Large planters. Yep. Yes, you're my neighbor in Louisiana. Kind of got a little chilly today, didn't it? That cold front coming down. We're sitting at 48 right now. I think
Oh
our high
hell.
today.
We're at oh, hang on.
I'm sure you're a
If it
lot
was
colder.
Celsius.
You blew that cold front down here.
Oh well, according to someone we know, yes, I blow the bad weather there. I don't know if I did it or if it came from down there.
Yeah, I want to do some
We're
bell peppers
at
too.
we're at 9 Fahrenheit.
Wow. Oh my
Feels like
goodness.
9.
I am so sorry. I couldn't
I don't
handle
care. I'm
that.
in the house. I don't give a shit. Although I
But you know
did go
what's
out and shovel
crazy?
today. We
Do
had
you
to
have your
shovel the
YouTube
snow.
on, hon? Do you have your YouTube on?
It's muted behind me.
Okay.
What?
I was just wondering. I thought I heard a little bit of an echo.
I'm pretty sure it's muted. Yeah, it's muted. That's just so if I want to chat in chat, I can do that.
I agree,
Somebody
John.
told me, I heard somebody saying that, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because if I'm on here, I can't chat on chat. So if I leave yours up, then I can zip over there and chat and chat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Don't ask
The,
me.
this is insane though. Like, I think our high today was 60. Well, it says 69,
I think
maybe.
our high today was like 33.
Uh, I'm sorry. And our low's 45. But
And we had snow all day today.
Thursday, it's going to be back up to 83,
No,
65 low.
tomorrow it's going to be hang on a minute. Because I know it's Celsius, but not.
You see, John, the Yanks, the Yanks. Excuse me. Once it warms up. Wow.
I think tomorrow is supposed to
Hey,
be like
Gigi.
-3 or something.
Gigi, you want to watch it again? I just keep showing it over and over. Anytime somebody new comes, do you want to watch? Y'all have to see my intro that Gigi made. Here we go again. I just gotta.
I'm not a Yank, John. I'm Canadian.
Okay, okay. Share. And Gigi, I can't believe I figured out how to do this too. Without you sitting here giving me tutorial.
Well, I was looking at the weather earlier today with my daughter, so it was in Celsius, so I kind of had to go back and check it in Fahrenheit.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. No, it's beautiful. Yes, it is, Gigi. I just love it.
That's awesome. You did a great job, Gigi. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, that's us dancing around at the fire, acting silly.
I'm there too.
Everybody, it's all of us dancing around at the fire.
Yep.
Yep, she told me, she said, pick some music. And she told me where to pick it. And I was like, and I was going through all this music and I wanted something totally different. And but then I saw Gigi's intro and she actually used a piece of that. And so I was like, okay. So I just kept looking around and but once I heard that, I was like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she says, well, now you need some pictures. And I'm like, oh, pictures. And so I sent her a cajillion beach pictures with horseback riding
Awesome.
and then she said, well, what about videos?
The,
And I said, you see what I want. And so she built that from just pictures that I sent her. I'm
awesome.
like really impressed with it. Yep, and she didn't use the pictures, and that's okay.
That, that,
I love the video. It's perfect. Yep. my grandbaby, she's got a cough that's got me worried sick, and
Oh
but
no.
she's been doing this like she'll do it and then she'll get over it and then it comes back again, and I really think it's allergies.
It
But
could be.
she doesn't want to eat. Oh,
No, that's something else then. She's getting sick.
what that she doesn't want to eat?
Yeah.
Well, she has a tummy problem too, where she's had to be on medicine like from day one, just about for that. But
Oh wow. John is asking you if you got rain today.
no, we didn't get any rain. Oh, you got a lot.
Well, Lake Ferry had a lot of wind where she is today. Like when she went outside to have a smoke, she could hear trees snapping in the area.
Uh-huh.
And the last video I saw, they were all down in the basement.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Um,
And Gigi wants to know if the baby eats a lot of milk products.
just cheese. She loves cheese, string cheese, any kind of cheese. Cheese. Cheese isn't good. Yeah, it probably isn't. But
No, I think he's talking about the weather
oh,
stuff we were talking about.
okay. Yeah,
I
that's
think
not good. Where Lake Perry is.
Gigi wants to know if it's processed cheese, like cheese slices.
No.
No.
Well, I don't know. Is block cheese processed?
No.
Okay.
Well, it is a little bit because they add dye to it and stuff, but whatever.
What's the block?
You can make your own cheese at home with milk.
Yeah, I'll tell Laura to do that.
And Laura will come up here and tell me to go crazy. But no, I was checking out videos last week, I think it was.
She doesn't drink lots of milk.
And they were making all different kinds of cheeses, but because it's with milk, it doesn't have the orange color to it, so it's white.
Yes.
And then one cheese I watched, which I don't think I would ever eat, okay? Because they took beets and they smushed them all up and they took the juice out of the beets and put it in and made cheese with the milk and the beets.
Ew.
And it was red, like pink. I guess pink is a better color.
Well, it doesn't matter what color it is, but it still
But
doesn't
you're not
sound.
going to eat pink cheese. Like, come on. I think I'd probably put orange food coloring in it just because.
Yep.
If I ever make cheese, that is. I'd probably add food coloring to it because, it's got to be orange. Mozzarella is white.
In Swiss.
Oh, yeah, and Swiss.
There's several actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's several actually that are white.
Mm-hmm.
So did you hear the part about me saying that to create your villages where you're living and
Yep.
and everyone take care of the kids? The kids are the main thing.
Yep. That's
That's
what we
what
do. That's what I do.
yeah. That's what they were talking about on Liberty Warrior. You had the affidavit mamas and I mean all the things that they were talking about. It's pretty scary what they're trying to do to our kids, and
Yep.
we have got to. Oh, I love pepper jack. Yes,
That's the hot cheese, correct?
yes. We like spicy foods down here.
Well, I like the pepper jack cheese like just to eat the pepper jack cheese with meat or whatever, but don't like make it in a grilled cheese sandwich because it loses its flavor.
Really?
The pepper jack cheese, if you make a grilled cheese sandwich out of it, it doesn't taste hot anymore. It's just bland.
Oh, then you'll have to add some sliced jalapenos in there. Hmm.
I don't eat too much hot food.
Okay, Gigi. Sounds good. Hurry up. You know, that's what my mother and I were talking about today. My brother is, if it doesn't make him sweat and smoke blow out of his ears, he's not happy. So he likes the ghost peppers, the habaneros, the hotter the better.
Oh
And
wow.
my mother and I are both like, no, we like our jalapeno peppers because they have a good taste, but they have a little kick.
Yeah.
They don't make you just,
Blow your head off.
yeah.
Well, my husband, the hunting group he used to belong to, they would make a chili. Like one person would make the chili, okay? And so one guy said, "No, I'll make the chili." So he says, "And you guys are gonna like it. It's gonna be hot." Da 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 da. My husband can eat hot food, but this chili was so hot. He took one bite, had to have 4 slices of bread and 4 glasses of water.
Oh, God.
He's like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm not eating this shit."
I think water makes it worse. I
Well,
think
he ate the
milk
bread first. Oh,
cuts.
and he had 3 glasses of milk too to boot.
Oh, okay.
Like he had the milk first, and then he was still burning, so he had water. He was like, "Oh Jesus Christ, I was dying."
Hmm.
He said, that's not food." He says, "When it's so hot that you can't eat it, it's not food. It's not appealing."
And I agree. There's this place that every time my brother flies in from California, um, he likes to go there. It's chili something. I can't remember the dadgum name of it. Um, and so they have different stages of chili. They have regular, then a little hotter, and it goes by X. And so he gets the hottest. And they're like, "Are you sure?" And he says, "Yes. And I want 3 to go containers also." And so he takes them to my mother. But they'll be just sitting there watching him eat it because they said hardly anybody orders that ever. I guess they don't get spicy food at all in California. I don't know. But he cooks a lot, so. And he's growing those peppers.
Oh wow.
He's just addicted to the pain. I don't know.
John, where are you from?
He's in Louisiana.
Louisiana?
Mhm.
I hear they have kind of spicy food too there. That's why I was asking.
It's a little spicy, but like he said, it's more the flavor, the spices that they use.
Mhm.
Like my mother, she puts Cajun spice on everything,
Uh-huh.
and it's just
I
it's a
can't
bit,
even find Cajun spice where I am.
yeah, probably not.
I'd have to go to the bulk store, and I don't even know if they have it there.
Yeah, we'll have to ship you some so you can try.
Like, I have no idea. Because it was a recipe I wanted to make and it had that spice in it. And I just used Tex-Mex because that's all I had.
No.
And it was good, but it could have been better if I'd have had the spice they were talking about. Because Tex-Mex is not really hot.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that, John, but yes, it is very good food in Louisiana.
I don't know. I've
But
never been to Louisiana.
Tex-Mex is pretty darn good.
Yes, I like Tex-Mex.
And then I hear, I think it's Chicago or New York makes the best pizzas.
Chicago, from what I understand, Chicago makes a good deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
But
We
I
have
think
a
I think where I live, we have great pizza.
we
But
just
it's all Italians.
Susie, how are you?
Hey, Suze.
We just had a lady move here, and she's from, I think she said she was from New York,
Mm-hmm.
and she wants to open a pizza place. And um, people were trying to talk her out of it. And so I got on there and I said, if you want to make pizza, New York style pizza, do it. Because I know it's going to knock these other pizzas out of the park. They don't do pizzas real good here. Are you looking for that season?
Yes.
Yep.
How'd you know?
Because I just saw it. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, you should be able to order it. That's true.
Yeah. But like I said, when I go to the bulk store next time, I'll look to see if they have Cajun spice.
Yeah.
Like I've looked at the grocery stores. I've looked at Walmart, and we ain't got it. And you know something really weird? We don't have savory. I haven't been able to find savory in Sault Ste. Marie since October.
Hmm.
You know how when you're making your turkey, you have sage and savory that you put on your bird and poultry? Well, I didn't have any savory, so blackened seasoning? What the hell is that? John.
Uh, Blackened anything. You can do chicken, fish. Yeah.
Yeah, but what is it? Is it a spice? I'm
Yeah.
so confused. Now I'm gonna have to look up that.
Yes.
Oh, Blacken seasoning.
Yeah, my best friend I went to high school with, they're from Louisiana. And and we didn't even know it until we were talking on the bus one day, the school bus. Our backyards met with each other. And so from then on, we were back and forth all the time. And her family was always having these big um, crawfish cookouts, shrimp, you name it. And so they were always, come on over, Bonnie. Okay. And they did everything. They did the oysters. They did. And she was telling me the other day, I was talking about boudin, and she said, it's not boudin, it's boudet. Boudet. Boud, I don't know, but the N's not on it. Yeah, she still comes over to visit. They would be grounded, and this was back in the late 70s, and I'd sneak over to their house, and her father would always know because he could smell my hairspray. So they'd get in trouble. we'd all get in trouble.
Sorry, I was just looking up that stuff from John John.
And John, you say it with an N? John is a cook. He can cook anything. I think it's John that I've seen up on panel.
Boudin is how it's said, and Boudin is how it's spelled. Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people, that's their trip. They go to Louisiana because in Louisiana they have casinos and they have all the food and they have even my daughter actually this year, I think it was at the beginning of the year, sometime she went to New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
And I was really worried about her because all the crud that was going on and not the contagious stuff. And I was like, please be careful. And she's all, got my mace, I got my pepper spray, I said, okay. She comes back and she's got this big python on her neck, and I'm like, what? And in a picture. And I said, what were you doing? And she said, Mom, she said she was just walking by this guy that had the snake. And she said, can I just touch it? And he just threw it around her, and then he wanted $20. And she was like, I didn't ask for you to throw that thing on me. But he kept following her, so she gave him the $20 so he'd leave her alone.
Oh, wow.
Kind of very persistent there. Yeah.
I would have said, here's $5, fuck off. That's just me, though.
And she used to be that way. Since she has a daughter now, she's mellowed out a lot. And okay, John.
I am quite mellow now. I am nowhere near as aggressive as I used to be.
That's good. That is so good. Do you know? Oh my goodness, that's one of the things that I have been really looking up. And
what's that?
It's because it's been so hard for me. With my friend, I was telling her, we're supposed to love everyone no matter what.
Yeah.
Period. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's really, really hard with this administration thing, government, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I know. And so she sent me a little video today, and it was this lady, and I don't think she should have done it that way, but she was acting like she was on the phone with God. And it's yes, you love all.
Yeah.
You don't have to like them, you don't have to associate with them, but you love. And I've been saying that.
Yep.
And if something is hurting you, or if you're having, you just forgive it and go on. And that's me from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Go on, because you can't let it eat you up. You can't let it decide your life.
Nope.
You can't. You just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
And pray for them. That's
Yeah.
one thing too. You pray for your enemies, pray for those people up there running things, and watch what happens because they can't stand that.
Well,
Anything evil cannot stand to be prayed for.
yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way. I'll be honest, I haven't been praying for them, the ones in power. I
When,
haven't.
uh,
I've been praying to God to, I said, I know you've got this. I know you've won, but please let us know.
and
We're just
that
getting a little tired of all this crap.
right, and but that's just it. There's certain ways that you pray to get the things that you want.
Mm.
Because I mean, you can pray away abusive boyfriends for your daughter, whatever. There's you just it's the way you word it, and if it's if it's for someone's well-being, it will come to be. I truly believe that. Just like all the power that we have, the energies and the everything, I so think that we have the power to do all that.
Oh, definitely. We are all magical human beings.
Yes, but you have
And we're just learning that we're that way because it's
yep.
been hidden from us for so long.
Okay, Suze.
So we're like taking little baby steps trying to be magical and trying to be positive and trying to be, da 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 da. When really you just want to go snap and everything's normal. Or not normal, better.
Yeah, but it's a process. And
Yep.
that's what um in that movie it was like, oh, there he is. It's, it,
Yeah. Hi,
that's
John
what
John.
in that movie.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can.
can.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad.
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I was sitting up in the house. The wife and I were watching a movie and was listening to y'all at the same time. And then the movie ended, and we were talking about seasoning, and I saw Dorinda trying to find that seasoning. So I said, well, let me go back here and show her. Hold on a second. Let me grab something.
I found a concoction that is called blackened seasoning that you can make with your own stuff. Except for we only have paprika. We don't have the other kind of paprika.
Right here.
Blackened
You see
seasoning.
that?
Yeah, we don't have that here.
Is that our hands?
Yep.
Like this stuff you can. Do you cook on the grill? Do you barbecue or
Yes.
grill pork or beef or chicken?
Yeah.
So when you prepare it, like when you're prepping it to go put on the grill, you can take this blackened seasoning and a little bit of marinade. I don't know what kind of marinade y'all have.
It's like a rub.
Hang on, I got some right here. You can use a little. You can use a little olive oil. I
Mm-hmm.
use something like this that we get locally.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Tiger Hot Sauce. It's a little. It's got a lot of flavor in it. And
We
what
have
I'll
Frank's
do,
Red Hot. Frank's hot sauce.
Frank's is okay. It this if you look at the bottle on this stuff, it has a lot of
Yeah.
seasoning in it. If you can look in it and
Yep.
Yeah.
see, look, read that.
Let me
Can you
let
read that?
me put you full. Mm,
So you can use it as a condiment, as an ingredient, as a marinade, as a cooking sauce.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily
Ugh.
have to use this one, but if you find something like this, you can use this, and you can also sprinkle this on it. Now, another thing I also do is I use olive oil and coat the meat with it, and then I use the blackened seasoning to make a rub for it. And of course the olive oil holds it to the meat, right? So when you put a thin layer on it and spread it out, and I put the gloves on and I get my hands in it. I don't use basters. We get down and we cook with our hands. We don't use all these fancy ladles and spoons and stuff. Most of the things we prepare here, we cook by hand. And
That's what I
but
was saying there. It's like a rub on it, right?
yeah,
It,
it's
it
sort of a rub, and you can do wet marinades or dry marinades or a rub. It's called,
yeah,
and but the secret is getting the seasoning that you need to do that. And
yeah.
I know, Dorinda, you guys up there, y'all probably just don't have access, But if
Well,
you
I
can,
came across a recipe to make the blackened sauce. So
yeah,
the
yeah,
only thing it said something that I have paprika, but
yeah,
not the other kind of There's different kinds of paprika.
yes. Now we cook a lot with paprika down here, but it's not used as a main ingredient. It's used as it's a pinch. It's not used any more than usually a pinch.
Yeah.
You put a small amount in your hand, and that's normally how what we do with paprika because we have other seasoning. Now we also use a lot of vegetables. The onions, the garlic, the bell pepper, minced up, and we make a roux. Do you know what a roux is? It's like
Yes, I do.
we make most of our meals in Louisiana are made with a roux. A roux starts everything,
Yep.
and that's going to determine how your meal is going to come out, how well you prepare the roux. I think on that website you can buy a roux in a jar. A lot of people shy away from it, but there are a few companies here locally that make roux in a jar. That's a Louisiana made, and it's actually pretty good. My wife will use it times when she just doesn't feel like making a roux. Making a roux correctly is time consuming, very time consuming. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
there's friends of mine that will get up, at 5 o'clock in the morning and start their roux, and it will take them a long time to make the roux. It's a process, and I'm not one of those people. I don't do that. But like I was trying to show you, Dorinda, if you can get a hold of this seasoning and order it and get it in, that website that I showed you, Zatarain's is owned by McCormick, which is a seasoning that's I think is all over the United States.
Yeah.
I'm not
We
sure
got
about
McCormick in Canada too.
there's one. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. But anyway, if you go to their website, you can look around. They're still using the Zatarain's products, and they're doing it the same way. They haven't really changed up. They haven't really changed up anything. I got something else I'll show you. Uh,
Gigi, are you okay? Dadgummit. Did you read
Mm-hmm.
it? She wiped out on the ice.
I
Hey,
hope you're okay,
Lisa.
buddy.
now
Hello, Lisa.
Now Bonnie knows we eat a lot of crawfish in Louisiana, and
Yep.
the same company makes this product.
Okay.
Yes.
We use that, and there's also a granulated. This is a big. This is a 4.5 pound container.
Well,
It's
yep.
shrimp, crab, and crawfish boil. Now this container, I'm not good at doing this. This container, you dump the whole thing in it. It has all the seasoning in it, everything. So you literally, when you fill your big pot, you dump this seasoning in it. Then you would add, you know, whatever seasoning you want. We normally put potatoes and corn, and we put onions, garlic in it, and boil our seafood in it. Um,
Yep. Everything. Just
if you
pour it
can
in.
get crab, if you can get shrimp, I know you guys can get shrimp up there. I know, right, Dorinda?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you get some of this, it comes in smaller containers. If you boil this in shrimp, you're you're gonna love it. You're really gonna. Now this liquid version. Have you ever seen the little red potatoes you can buy in the store? The little.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you bought a little bag of those and you got some of this, and you boil those potatoes with some of this in in the pot, you're going to talk about some really good potatoes. And I'll give you a little. You ever eat potato salad? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people will take A lot of people will take the little potatoes after a crawfish boil that weren't eaten, and they'll mash them up and they'll make potato salad with those potatoes that were cooked in this. And it's
Just for the
absolutely
flavor.
incredible. It's totally different. I've had people from other states come and eat that, and they're like, I've never had potato salad like this. And it's not overpowering. It's not overpowering. It can be if you do too much, but it's really some good stuff. I mean, Louisiana's tourism board, they try their best to get information out, to people all over the country to try some of these Louisiana products because they're really good. They really are. There's several companies in here that mom and pop companies that make their own stuff, and they do a really good job. They make it easier for us because we don't have to spend the time making it. We can literally go buy it in the store and dump it in and cook and do our marinades and stuff like that. But the reason I wanted you to check out the Blackened seasoning, because this is a seasoning you can use on practically everything, just about everything. If you just want to touch it up a little bit. Now, this doesn't have like a lot of cayenne pepper in it. So it's not, if you put enough of it on there, it's going to get really hot. But if you just dabble it on there, it's going to change how your meal comes out completely. So it's just something different, and that's kind of how we cook down here. Now we make stuff really hot, but over there where Bonnie lives in Texas, those guys make some hot food, some really hot food, and it's good. Now I love Mexican food, and I love going to Texas to eat Mexican food. I've been all over Texas a good part of my life, and I have a lot of family that lives there, and so does my wife. So,
Okay.
Texas is real fun to go to, Dorinda, when they have those huge barbecues.
Yeah.
There. Oh, you want to talk about fun? Those are a lot of fun. And they used to do one in Houston. Did you ever go to those big cattlemen's barbecues, Bonnie?
Not in Houston.
Yeah.
Around here.
San Antonio does one too, I think. And then
we have a lot of cook-offs and but barbecue is my son's. I always cooked on the grill, and so they started, and so they try to outdo each other, and it's a big thing. Who can make the best barbecue?
And so we do the same thing here, except with gumbos, jambalayas.
Yes.
And
the first time I ever ate shrimp.
That's everything in one pot, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
I
have a hard time eating stuff that everything's in the same pot.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. My family loves it.
Like one of the most popular gumbos.
Gumbo.
The gumbos that's most popular here is the chicken and sausage. So it's chicken and sausage. That's it. You can put some minced up bell peppers and onions in it too, and a little seasoning. But they also make a wildlife gumbo, and that's they'll put deer and squirrel and rabbit. They'll just throw it all in the pot and cook it down. That's pretty good, I guess. But
no, I don't know about that.
My husband and my daughter like stews and that kind of stuff.
Me too.
And I'm like, I make them a great stew because I'm the one that cooks it, but I won't eat it.
Like my wife. My wife is a 100% Cajun. Her descendants are from Nova Scotia, Canada. Nova Scotia. And I'm originally from the northern part of the state. I'm just an old country boy. That's all. I got lucky and hooked up with a good woman, a good Cajun woman, and but she's a great cook. She's a real great cook, and she makes a lot of the things, but she won't eat them. She'll make, how's it taste? I'm like, didn't you eat it? No, I didn't want it. It didn't look good. I'm like, are you crazy? It was delicious. She does that all the time.
Yep. And that's pretty neat. If you get two cultures together, imagine the amazing foods you can have in one house.
Oh yeah, my mom was originally from New Orleans, And my
Hey,
dad is
Pappy.
from North Louisiana. So growing up as a kid, I grew up in the country and I grew up in the city, because we traveled so much back and forth, seeing their
Yeah.
their parents, mama and papa. And
Yep.
over the years, and then when my dad passed away, we moved almost in the deep south of the state, but we're in the capital. I'm in the capital area of Louisiana, which is Baton Rouge. I'm in a little town right outside of
Yeah.
it because I still like the country. I don't like to live in the city,
Yes.
but it's close enough to where we can, in 30 minutes we can be in town. But it's cool growing up, in both areas, growing up in the country and having access to the city growing up because you learn so much about different cultures and people.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
Peter.
I
Yeah,
grew
my
up in
dog.
the city
Yeah,
till I
my
was
Bring
dog.
your dog
13.
up so we can see him.
Hold on. Let me see. Oh, he's a big dog. I can't pick him, put him in my lap. There he is. He's there.
Oh, is that a chocolate lab?
Yeah, he's a senior citizen.
Hello,
Oh,
puppy.
Hey
it's
there.
pretty.
You're so beautiful.
Can you see that look he's giving me? Watch. You can't see this one. Want that? Is that what you want? Yeah. Okay. This is why he's bothering me right now because
Yeah,
every
yeah,
night
he's
around this
leaving for
time,
painting.
it's time for his tree. Yeah, man. There you go. That's what that's all about. Mm. Yeah, he's almost 14. So he's getting up there.
No, mine's 6, and he's a black lab.
I had a black lab. That was my last dog. Was a black lab. I had him about 14 years,
Wow.
and he was a good dog. This one's not as big as my black lab. This one's about 70 pounds. My black lab was right at 100 pounds. And
Wow.
My black lab is 130 and still thinks
yeah,
he's a lap
yeah,
dog.
yeah. They all think
Still
they're lap
thinks
dogs.
he's tiny.
Yes, they
Mhm.
do. I had a yellow lab, and he would jump on the trampoline with the kids and thought it was his.
Right. Well, he thinks you know how it is. They think they're going to eat everything we eat, do
Yes,
everything we do, go everywhere we go. And when you tell them no, they pout just like a child. Just
yes.
like a child. Right. The dogs are children that never grow up.
Yes, that is
They're
true.
children that never grow up. Oh boy,
Yep.
you're not getting any more. That's it. That's it. Sorry.
Pappy, you're still painting.
Why don't you come
Goodness.
up and tell us how it's going, Pappy? We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, I didn't know Pappy was in the chat. That's great. I hadn't seen Pappy in a few days.
I haven't either.
And Gigi, why are you lurking? Get up here.
You tell her. You tell her.
Why are you lurking?
She fell
She
on
was
the
on her
Oh
way
ice,
to the
no!
garage and she fell.
Don't do that. That's too painful.
so she's probably waiting until she quits crying.
Oh,
No, I don't know.
be careful, Gigi.
The older you get, the more it hurts.
And it doesn't stop hurting.
No.
Yeah, she said the hip will bother her tomorrow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Bonnie, I wanted to ask you
Yes, sir.
who puts those Christmas lights on every year in your little town? Is
It's um it's pretty much the whole town. The uh
who does the work? Because that was an enormous amount of lights.
yes. The the ones at the electric co-op, they
Mhm.
hire somebody to come in and do those. But the ones at the courthouse is townspeople, and then the co-op, they'll send their trucks over there, and um, so that they can lift people up to get them up there on top. The little chimneys, they
Mhm.
weren't done last year, and so they took time to wrap the little chimneys up on top of the courthouse this year.
Right.
But yeah, it's amazing. We have people from all over come just for that.
Yeah,
The girls have
that's
been.
what I showed my wife, and she's like, "Where are they at?" And I'm like, "There's nowhere in Texas." And I'm like, "We need to go there." And I'm like, "I know, right? That is awesome." Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was really cool. There's not a whole lot of
Mhm.
towns that do that anymore. There's
I,
really not.
I've heard that, and that's why I wanted to do a video so that people who don't get to see that could see it because it's
Right.
pretty cool.
The little town where I grew up in North Louisiana, it's much smaller than that. But they used to decorate the town. And
Yeah.
when I saw all those old buildings and stuff like that decorated, it reminded me instantly of my hometown. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, so cool, you know. And they don't do it anymore, you know.
Aw.
My hometown didn't. Well, the people decorated their houses and stuff,
Right.
and the businesses decorated. But I remember my Collings Hardware. We're going to call it that, okay? The
Mhm.
hardware, the clothing store, whatever the hell it was. It was all kinds of things in one store. Um, they would play music. They had speakers on the building, and they would play music,
Oh, that's
Christmas
cool.
music. And
Yep.
I remember it didn't matter when I would go downtown, because that's what we called it, downtown.
Mhm.
Um, 9 times out of 10, it was Silver Bells playing.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
And
cool.
I loved it. And I would start singing and walking and dancing and the whole 9 yards like an idiot, right?
Put you in the mood, didn't it?
It is
And
supposed to
I would,
look like that.
all the way home, I would be singing Silver Bells all the way home.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
We're losing all that stuff. All that stuff is fading out. And
Yeah. I don't think it's going to do that here. Um,
I
it's
hope not. We need some places like that still.
They call it Light Spectacular, and a lot of people donate to it to pay for the lights, and
Hmm.
um, then the uh, what is it, Chamber of Commerce?
Right.
They make sure that all the businesses have lights, and everybody just pitches in here.
Do
It
they honor the veterans there too? Do they do a memorial for them, or
Oh yeah,
do they? How about
we
Fourth
have
of July? Do they do all the flags and
we
do
have a
that?
parade, and
See,
yeah,
that's cool.
it's,
Now we do something like that here in the little town I live in now. There's a median out on the highway, a big grass median,
uh-huh,
uh, and they dress it up. They put flagpoles on it, and they do stuff for veterans during Veterans Day. They always put a theme out. There's a theme out right now for Christmas. It's nothing like what you have, but it's just you know it's something that people donate their time and money, and
yeah,
uh, they'll sit at the corner of the main red light, and they'll do a fun drive or something. They'll hold an ice cream bucket out, and people gonna let
yes,
people fill it up. Help them with donations for that. So it's
yeah.
really cool.
Our
But
fire department does that. They hold their boots out there.
yeah, you just that is just dying. That's small town America is what we call it,
Yeah,
and it's dying.
Our firemen do the boot thing, and they buy Christmas presents for
Hmm.
the
needy for the
underprivileged,
needy
I guess
children.
we call
Yes,
them. I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
yeah.
My daughter just got to go on a toy run this last weekend for orphanage, and she said it was just amazing that they're all bikers,
Mm.
and so she rode on the back of somebody's motorcycle, and they went and did the toy run to take all the toys and donations. We have a big pig roast every year,
Oh man,
and all the bikers come, and it's huge, and um, all the proceeds from that go to buying for that orphanage, and
hmm,
they get them computers for the school. They get anything that they need, they get it. And
that sounds awesome.
yeah, it is. And then um, I'm hoping next weekend to get a video. We have a living nativity, and that's pretty cool. My granddaughter was one of the angels one year. I don't know how they had her hanging up there, but I don't want to know. I
When you
have a
say
picture
hanging,
hanging.
they had her like an angel over.
Yes.
Right.
and that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to get a video of that.
That's cool.
There's just so many things going on around here.
I would love to live in your town. That would be a town I'd like to live in.
Yeah.
That's what I like. And it looks country out there too still. You know,
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
big city. What is the name of the town? Can you say? I mean,
It's Johnson City.
okay. I've never heard of Johnson City, but it's
Um, it is. It was not named after Lyndon B. Johnson, but he did live. He he lived on the ranch, and then he lived in town for a little bit. They have a boyhood home. We have the National Park Service that has that all preserved, and then you go out to the ranch, and and then there's the settlement. It's a whole lot of big things. Um, and what else do we have? But we have 1,500 people here, so it is small town, and everybody knows everybody. You know what their kids are doing. You know what everybody
oh
knows
yeah.
everybody's doing,
That's,
and but that's why I moved here, so that because I was a single mother having to work all the time, and knew that I would get told if my kids were doing anything they weren't supposed to be
oh,
doing.
absolutely. Yeah. The town we're in right now is kind of like that. It's a little more than 1,500, but not much. And my wife's a school teacher, and
Oh, cool.
it's kind of funny because, like on social media, on Facebook or something, you know how people get on Facebook and they like to gossip and do all this, and
Yes.
she can't get in on that because everybody knows you. You know, you really have to just like don't say anything because it's a small town. Everybody knows, you know,
Yeah.
and there are nosy people in small towns, as you well know, and they'll get things stirred up. So
Oh, I know.
she learned a long time ago. Just some things, just don't even comment on. Just don't say anything, you know.
Yep.
But
And it's like Shane always says, believe half of what you hear, and or
yeah, how's he say that? Half
however he says that.
I forgot the rest. Yeah, I've heard him say that too. I've heard him say that.
Something of what you see. I
Yeah.
can't remember how it goes, but
Dorinda, are you out in the country, or are you close to a bigger town or a city where you live?
I'm in a city. We have like 75,000
Mm-hmm.
in our city.
Yeah.
Do I want to live in the city anymore? No, because I live
Uh,
downtown.
yeah.
I want to get the hell out of the
You want to
city.
get in the country, probably. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
get into the country. I want to get by the lake and just do my own thing and to hell with everybody else.
I would be your neighbor, but I'd be the neighbor that's a half a mile away. Wouldn't bother me.
Yep.
yep.
I just want to be um not by myself, but
Yeah.
I don't want it like every 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes. I hear the sirens going by a block away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the sirens anymore.
That's why I can never live in the city.
Well,
I can,
and that's why I'm anxious to move, because even though we're a small town, there's a major highway going through here. Well, we have two of them. They meet in the middle of town, and so sirens like every 30 minutes. And I said, if I wanted to live next to a hospital, I would. And of course, then you worry, okay, where's all your kids? Who's where? What's going on? But people do not know how to drive in Texas anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the
here either.
Californian that moved here. I don't, but
They don't know how to drive here either.
No, people just don't know how to drive.
You know what it is? There is no consideration anymore.
Yeah.
When I went and visited in Kentucky, um, these cars would come up behind me, and so I'd pull over to the right to let them go by. And the guy that I was seeing back then, he's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm letting them pass me." And he goes, "You don't do that here." And I said, "Why not?" And it's just courtesy, and people just don't do that anymore. They all think they got to drive 90 miles an hour, and
Yeah.
it's scary being
I
out
go
there on
90
the road.
miles an hour to get to the same damn light you're going to get to, and there's
Or
still.
to the Dollar General.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? That was an emergency? Dollar General?
Well, I drove big
Here's
rigs.
McDonald's.
I drove big rigs from like 1983 up until I think I quit in 1999, and I'm glad that's when I got out because I see the way people drive now, and they're on their phones and they're distracted, and that would I'd be a nervous wreck trying to drive an 18 wheeler nowadays.
Yep.
The guys
Yes.
that do it now, my hats are off to them because they have to be on their toes. I mean, just you know they have to really watch what they're doing.
Gigi, if the kids stand there and go like this
Yep.
in Sault Ste. Marie, the truckers still blow their horns for
Yep.
the kids.
I always blew mine.
They
Yeah.
always do.
It's,
Yep. One of my neighbors drives a rig, and every day when he was leaving, the little neighbor kids would get out there at the corner and
mm-hmm.
do that, and he'd toot his horn at them. And but
Well,
some of the truck drivers are pretty scary too. Because I was turning at our one stoplight at the time, and nobody seems to know what a red yield sign means anymore.
mm-hmm.
And so I turned, and there's a curve that comes on to that highway, and he just came plowing through, and I had to jump up on the median because my granddaughter's in the seat beside me, and all I see is purple, huge rig. That's
Mm.
all I could see. He was that close,
He almost took you out.
and then he's raising his hands up at me like I did something wrong. Come on,
Well,
really?
it was back that way when I was driving too. There are some bad truck drivers. There are some.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
It's one of the things you should not ever have as a truck driver is road rage because it's
yeah,
never going to end well if you do. It's never going to
no,
end well. And I see a lot of that now on the highways, interstates when I get on them, and it's scary. Those,
yeah,
when an 18 wheeler is driving behind a car in the passing lane, and the car's doing 75, and he's right up on his bumper.
yes, I
I just
hate
shake
that.
my head at him. I'm like, and you know what's sad about it is that guy driving that truck. He knows what'll happen if that car
Yeah,
hit his brakes. He knows exactly what's going to happen, but he still
yeah,
does it. Now,
because they're bigger.
yeah. Well, he's going to hurt a lot of people. He can hurt a lot of people.
Yes,
And it's,
yeah, we
I
have a
remember,
lot of those
I
wrecks.
remember back in, must have been 299, might have been 2000, back in 2000. I worked for a freight company. I got out of trucking driving, and I moved into a freight company, and I
Mhm.
went into management. And we had a big sales meeting in Dallas, Texas. So I had to drive from Louisiana to Dallas. Well, my
Yeah,
wife's uncle and aunt live in Dallas, so I brought her. And at the time, my uh, newborn son and my wife was pregnant with my daughter. So we
oh
piled
my
up in the
goodness.
company car and we went to Dallas. And so we're going down the freeway, and they have the HOV lanes and all the other lanes. And I'm going through there, and I've been driving, driving isn't a problem for me. And you were talking about earlier, people drive so fast. Everyone on that interstate was driving 80, and everybody was on each other's bumper.
Yeah.
And I was just driving. I was in flowing with them, and you know, I pay attention to the road. And if everybody's driving 80, I'm driving 80. I'm not going to cause a problem. And I
Yeah.
just happened to look over at my wife, and she's stretched back in the seat with her hands like this. And I go, "Are you okay?" She goes, "No, I'm not okay." She goes, "What in the hell is wrong with these people?" And we were all going 80 miles an hour. I mean, it was just packed. The whole interstate was packed, and everybody was just rolling.
Yep.
And I told her, I said, as long as nobody hits their brake, we're fine, you know. And we
Or
got where we were going really
swerve
fast.
over.
Yeah, that's not something I want to drive in every day, though. You know, even though I
Mm-mm.
did that day. But,
That's
that's what we're planning for that.
one time on Thanksgiving, uh, we were going up to Dallas and we took 35.
Mm-hmm.
I will never do that again. It took us 9 hours to get up there, and it's like a 5 hour drive,
Yeah,
4 hours, something like that.
you got in a jam.
And all the way, it was just bumper to bumper. Everybody, it was on Thanksgiving, and
Oh,
so that's where uh, now we don't use that highway at all. I stay away from 35. I stay away from 10.
mm-hmm.
My ex-husband, he had this, I don't know what you call it. It was like an old timey car, but he was sitting up a bucket car. Uh, Okay, and it was yellow, this weird yellow. The windshield didn't even cover his whole face, and it didn't have a top on it. And so he was going to a car show or something, and went to get on 10, and I guess he didn't look, or of course his story is going to be different than the truck driver, but his semi was coming, and he somehow flew out of that car and did cartwheels all the way across 10, and his car went up under that semi. He was just darn lucky. All he got was a bump on the head, and his knee was scraped up. I had to doctor it, but he had 10 shut down for a couple hours.
God, that's crazy. Ah,
Yes.
it wasn't his time, that's for sure.
Nope.
I swear his guardian angel is just wore out. She's got
Hmm.
he's had too many things like that. I used to be scared to death to ride anywhere with him because he's going to hit something.
Now driving on the interstate isn't. It's just getting worse. You know?
Yeah.
Driving anywhere is getting worse.
Yeah. If you stay in the
I
country.
drive from here to Walmart. It's like 4 miles, if that. Okay.
Yeah.
If that. Okay. And there's people that I have 3 schools in my area that I have to go by. Okay. Now in January, they're taking the little signs with the flashing lights away from the schools,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to go 40 at the schools. 40 kilometers. Okay. I don't know what the hell that is in miles per hour or whatever. But so I'm practicing. Okay. So I go up my hill, and I'm making sure that I'm doing 40 going up the hill, and I get into my turning lane and I turn, and then I go to the next school. Then I get around the corner and I go to the next school. Fuck's sakes. And that one has never had lights on it. It used to be a high school, but now it's a public school. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, fuck. And people are honking their horn at me and whatever. I'm like, it's a school zone. I'm doing 40. Fuck off.
Because I'm the one that's going to get caught if I speed. And it's the same thing. There's a school zone There's several that I pass during the day, especially when I'm working, going to work, and yeah, it never fails. It never
Yep.
fails. I
Yeah.
slow down, people ride my butt, and I'm like, go around me. It's 4 lane. I'm like, go around me.
Yeah.
And
Because isn't the fine double or triple or something for a
school
school zone?
zone tickets are expensive.
Yep.
They're
Yeah,
like
it's
two
it's
hundred
like
dollars.
it's like crazy. And the street that I go by, the last school, is only a 2-lane road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's got a turning lane at the one end and whatever, right? But it's like, Jesus Christ. So people are really pissed off when I'm doing 40 in that section because they're behind me and they're like, ah. I'm like,
Speed it up, Grandma.
yeah, I'm like, fuck off. I'm
Yeah,
doing what I'm supposed to do.
yeah. Because Dorinda, if you don't, you're gonna be the one that gets caught.
That's right.
Yes.
That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
when
I do that.
my
I'm gonna be the one that gets.
I had a friend that lived with us for a while. She borrowed my truck. When she came home, my speedometer was broken. Okay. When your speedometer is broken, you normally go with the speed of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that doesn't really help when you're first in line.
No.
And it doesn't help when the person beside you at the lights is revving up his thing, because that pisses me off. And because I've got a clunker, he thinks it's not going to go. So, yes, I've never gotten a speeding ticket, but I probably came close a lot of times.
Oh, I've had my share over the years, but not quite a few years now. It's been a long time. It's been a while, but I've had some good speeding tickets before. Some good ones. Never in a school zone, but I've had some really good. I've had speeding tickets. I've had to go to court. I had to go talk to the judge.
Oh,
Had to
wow.
talk to the judge, and he was like,
I've had one parking ticket because on the newspaper thing, it said that, okay, these parking meters will be free for the next, da 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 da, which I thought was in effect.
"No,
So I parked at one of these things because, hey, it's free. So I parked there. I ran into the store. I came out and had a fucking parking ticket. I'm like, it's supposed to be free. How am I going to get a fucking parking ticket? So I went to pay the parking ticket. And I'm like, I thought it was free. And they went, oh, Dorinda, it doesn't start till next week. Then why make a big fucking announcement that the parking is free on this street when it's not free till next fucking week? Because they didn't say that in the article.
yeah, everybody's going to forget by then. Do it on the day. Do it. How about the day before? Tell everybody tomorrow, free parking.
Mm-hmm.
People remember that
Yeah.
2 weeks earlier. Yeah, they shouldn't have made you pay that ticket.
Oh, I paid. It was $5. It was $5.
I know.
But that, I mean, and that's the only parking ticket I've gotten. That's the only ticket I've ever gotten.
You know, I don't think I've ever had a parking ticket. I don't think I've ever had one. Speeding tickets, reckless driving, drag racing, those are expensive tickets. Um, yeah, and a few tickets that I didn't get because they didn't catch me. But don't tell anybody. Maybe statute of limitations is on that now because I was like 18, 19 when that took place.
No, I was in my 30s when I was drag racing down Great Northern Road because some dickhead was sitting there revving up his car, pissing me off. Like,
Yeah.
don't fuck with me, man. I might have a rusty old shitbox, but it fucking goes. So I would just hit the gas lightly and I would fly past him, right? And he's like sitting there going, I'm like, fuck off, you jackass.
Yeah, if you knew me when we were in our 20s or early, yeah, you'd be in trouble. You wouldn't want to be in the car with me because we're in trouble.
Well, I got a call from my daughter's school one day that my daughter was sick and and had to be picked up. Okay. I was at work. Okay. And where I worked was a school. I'm a lunch lady.
Right.
Okay. It's 11:45. No, it's 11:45 and I start work at 12. Okay. I'm like, I'll be back. I'll be back for work. Don't worry, I'll be back. The principal goes, okay. All right. So I flew out of the parking lot. I flew up to the high school to pick the kid up, dropped the kid off at home, and went back to school. And I was there 5 minutes early.
Early.
The principal looks at me and he goes, oh, somebody was speeding. I said, somebody didn't get caught. I would have been late if I got caught.
It's not speeding if you don't get caught.
Well, I did. I used to work up on top of the hill from where I live. And I had a friend stop by just before I was supposed to leave for work. And so we got yapping and whatever. And I'm like, fuck, I got to go to work. I was 2 minutes. I'm at home and I got 2 minutes to get to work and punch in. I made it with 30 seconds to go. I was doing 95 going up the hill at my house in a 50.
It's only speeding if you get caught. Now, you said you were a lunch lady.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, she retired now, but she was the lunch lady. And were you a nice lunch lady?
I was a great lunch lady.
Because I love lunch ladies. When I was in school and had lunch ladies, I made friends with every one of them. When I came through the line, I was getting an extra roll or an extra milk, or a little, if it was spaghetti day or lasagna day, I was getting a big portion.
Oh, well, we didn't have, that wasn't part of our duties, so we didn't have that.
Yeah, they cook some of the best food.
I was the lunch lady that, when I first started at the school, they would throw all the bad kids at the wall. Okay. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me.
Right.
Because they're going to get into more shit at the wall. Because nobody's watching the wall. So I'm like, so the kid goes, oh, I'll go to the wall. I'm like, no, you stay with me. And he goes, excuse me? I said, no, I said, you walk with me for a while. He goes, but I go to the wall. I said, no, you're walking with me. So he goes, oh, okay. I said, now you stay quiet for 2 minutes and we'll see how it goes after that. He goes, okay. So he was quiet for the 2 minutes. I said, okay, now go back and play. The kid looked at me and he's like, what?
Who is this woman?
I said, go back and play. He goes, okay. And then a couple of times the kid would be bad and I'd be like, walk with me. They're like, oh, okay. They'd walk with me. And I'd say, okay, it's time for you to go back and play now. And they'd look at me and they'd say, can I walk with you some more? I'm like, you can walk with me. You can talk to me. It's not a problem. So the kid would start talking and whatever. And if it was an issue that I had to talk to the principal about, I would talk to the principal about. If it was not, I would try to help the kid fix the situation on his own.
Right.
Like I had one day at school, this is the funniest thing, right? One day at school, I had these 2 grade 5ers. And they're standing there and they're going like this to each other. And I'm like, what are you two doing? And they're like, okay, we'll go to the principal. I said, no, what are you two doing? And they're like, well, we're fighting. I said, that's not fighting. That's definitely not fighting. I said, you call this fighting? I looked at one of them and I went, no wonder your brothers beat the shit out of you all the time. And the kid looked at me and he goes, oh, yeah, we've had conversations. I said, yeah, we have. I says, is that really what you consider fighting? And when they stopped, they were right there, and my daughter was in the middle of these two boys, right? And I kind of winked at my daughter and I said, that's not fighting, boys. I said, that is flippity flip.
Yeah.
And they're like, what does that mean? I said, that means that you're not fighting. That means you're just playing silly.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, right. And I kind of winked at my daughter. I says, do you guys have any idea how to defend yourselves? That was my question to them, right?
And you already know they don't.
And they're like looking at me going, well, yeah, we just were. I said, that was not defending yourself. And my daughter is standing between them. And I kind of winked at her and she cold cocks both of them without batting an eyelash. She just up and cold cocks them. I says, and you guys didn't even see that coming, did you? And they're like, no. I said, okay.
Pass out.
I said, okay, boys. I said, you need some lessons. You have older brothers that do beat you up, and I don't like it. And I've already told the kid I didn't like that and that he needed to learn how to fight. I said, meet me in the school parking lot at 4:30 because I figured all the teachers and everybody would be gone by then, right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, shit.
So, Dorinda, does this involve the police?
No. So the two kids and my two kids and me are in the parking lot at the basketball court. And I'm like, okay, can you hold a fist? Neither one of them knew how to hold a fist. So I'm like, Rayvon, show them how to hold a fist. Samantha, show them how to hold a fist. Yeah. No, you hold the fist.
They do that. They put their thumb in.
You don't put your thumb inside.
Don't put your thumb in. Don't do that. You're gonna.
Okay. So there we are. The two kids are learning how to fight from my daughter and my son, who's younger than them. Okay. And they're like, holy crap. And do you know how to do this? And do you know how to do that? Do you know how to do this? And you know how to, and they're like, no. I'm like, oh crap. All right. And this went on for like 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. Meanwhile, after the 6 or 8 weeks, when they're finally starting to get things going and whatever, the principal comes out of the school as we're fighting or as we're teaching them how to fight. And he calls me over and he goes, Dorinda. I said, yeah. He goes, what are you doing? I said, do you want the truth or do you want me to lie? He goes, no, you're too honest. You're going to tell me the damn truth anyway. I said, I'm teaching these two boys how to defend themselves because this one has older brothers that beat the crap out of him. And this one has an older brother that beats the crap out of them. And I'm tired of it. I want them to be able to defend themselves. And he goes, good job. And he walked away.
See, he was probably a little brother, so he understands.
Yeah.
I had it made because I'm one of 5 siblings. I have 4 of the siblings, and they're a lot older than me. So I never had to fight my brothers or my sisters. So, but one of my brothers was a fighter, the other one wasn't. So when my brother would get through beating his butt, after a while he felt bad, and he taught him how to fight. Taught his own brother how to fight. He goes, look, man, you can't just let people hit on you, especially me. He said, I'm going to show you what to do. And he taught him how to fight. So that was pretty cool. But I had to learn how to fight on my own because of the age difference.
No, I taught these two boys how to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's some good stories.
Yep. It's my oldest daughter. She grew up with three brothers, and the youngest of the first four was 10 when I had the other two girls. So
Mm.
those four grew up together. And she knew how to play it. She could scream. When she was in the nursery, after I had her, I could hear this high pitched scream. Nurse came in there and I said, "Please tell me that's not my baby girl." I couldn't wait to have a girl. And she said, "I'm sorry, but yes, it is." So this scream carried on. I think she can still do it to this day.
Yeah.
And so they'd all be together somewhere, and she would let out that blood curdling scream, and I'd go in there and going after the boys. What'd y'all do to her? Whap, whap, whap. Well, one day they kept telling me we didn't do nothing. And I was like, I'm going to spy on this and check it out. Sure enough, they were sitting there, and she just all of a sudden just lets out that blood curdling scream. They didn't do nothing to her.
Hmm.
I took her and I said, "All right, now I know how it goes. You're in trouble." Them
Yeah.
kids learn how to play it well, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. My
But yeah,
daughter.
no, I was always the lunch lady that looked after my kids.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still have 200, 300 freaking children that run into me at Walmart and they're, "Hey, lunch lady Hammer, we love you. How are you? Da 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 da."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
They
great.
come up to me, they give me a big hug and whatever. And if they got the mask on, they take the mask off so I can see who they are. They give me a big hug.
Well, that
Yep.
was me, Dorinda. That was me in school. And even, well, I see the lunch ladies. I loved them.
Yep.
They fed me. I could eat when I was a kid.
Well, they like the other lunch ladies were like, "What the hell are you doing?" They go against the wall. I said, "My kids are not going up against the wall."
Yeah, that's good.
I said, "Look at how stupid they are acting up against the wall."
Yeah.
I said, "These ones are not acting stupid, and these ones are going to go play. Over there, they're fighting, they're kicking, they're beating the shit out of each other. No, they're walking with me." The other lunch ladies started doing it, so we had no kids up against the wall.
You ended it. You ended that era
Yep.
of the wall.
Yep.
You
I
can't
didn't
just
like the
you can't
wall.
just throw kids out. You can never get tired of raising your kids. Ever.
No.
No.
Never get tired. And
I would still be a lunch lady if my school was still opened, but they closed my school. And I tried it at a different school, and it was some of my kids, but it wasn't the same.
what was the reason they closed?
Because the school board wanted to give it to the Indians. I'm just going to say it politely.
Okay.
Wow.
Get it?
Because we were the only downtown school.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of transient kids. We had a lot of kids with problems that needed the extra help. And the school board was not willing to help those kids. It's that simple.
It's like that here too.
Yeah.
Being married to a teacher, I hear all the stories. Every year,
Yeah.
I hear all the stories, and you know, um, the kids that don't have anyone, the parents, one of the parents are dead or gone, the other one's in jail, grandmother's raising the baby, and
At
it's
least the
every year.
grandmother's raising the baby. If they're in foster care, it's a whole different shebang.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And
And I took care of all of my
yeah,
kids. I always made sure my kids, like if it didn't matter if they were a kid that was in the class of my kids or not,
hmm hmm
they'd say, "We have a school project and I kind of need some help with it." I said, "Okay, what's the school project and what do you need?" And they'd say, "Well, we got to do a science project on space." I said, "Okay, what are you thinking of doing with space? If you have an idea," I said, "if not, we can talk about it."
hmm
And one girl wanted to do a Milky Way. I said, okay, not a problem. Meet me here at this time. They said, okay. They came. I brought 5 boxes of craft supplies to help this kid for her project. And we sat, we worked, we made a freaking Milky Way. We did the whole 9 yards. I never charged the kid a dime for the supplies. I never charged the school. I never charged the teacher. I never charged anybody. I was just helping a kid.
Yeah.
And the kid was so excited, and she did her presentation because her and I worked on it. And we talked about how she was going to do the presentation, and we set it all up, and we wrote it all out, and she was explaining her project, and she had it down. She did her project. She got an A on it. That kid was bouncing, and she come up to me and she gave me a big hug, and she goes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I said, for what? She goes, I got an A. I said, no, you got. She goes, no. She goes, we got an A.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
no, you got an A because you worked on it. You worked on it.
Well, what kind of impact did you make on that child?
I made
That day forward.
a fantastic.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
And that's what it's really tough because my wife comes home with the stories. It's every year. She teaches kindergarten, and those kids just love her. You know, every year they love her. They can come in there and they're little badasses, or they're crybabies all the time. And when when a few weeks goes by, they kind of come out of that shell, and then a couple of more weeks go by, they get a little better. And by the time they end that school year, those kids are molded, and most of them are ready for the first grade. But it's really sad because so many of those kids, they don't have opportunities because of who's raising them. And it's really sad. And my wife sees them. It's a woman thing and it's a teacher thing. You see that instantly when you see that child. You can almost pick it out, and you know what that child's going through. And my wife spends extra time with them. We spend our own money on them. When we have kids, when I tell you there's kids come to school all week wearing the same uniform all week, and they hadn't had a bath.
Yep.
And then she finally asked them, what's going on? Well, our washing machine's broke, or we didn't have detergent, or blah, blah, blah. My wife and I have made trips to these people's houses and given them detergent. I've went and fixed things for them just to help them out. And
I've had the kids come to my house for dinner.
And we hadn't done that yet. Unfortunately, Dorinda, in these days and times, you have to be very careful how you approach things. Yes. There's always somebody wanting to sue you. They're going to call the law on you. There's always a lot of that going on. Yeah. But we my wife helps a lot of people and a lot of children. She helps them behind the scenes. She does things that I don't even know about. But I know she's doing them because it's the person she is. Mm-hmm. And she goes out of her way. And sometimes she doesn't get home till 6 o'clock because she stayed after school getting her classroom ready, helping a kid. A kid's late because the parent got stuck at work, and she just sits with them or whatever it takes. Yeah. Whatever it takes. If the parents will call and saying, look, I know my child's having this problem. Can you help her? And my wife's like, well, can you leave her a little later at school? Can you bring her in a few minutes earlier and let me sit down with her and work extra with her? And she does it. She doesn't get paid for it. Nobody pays us back for the money, that she spends helping these kids. You just do it. She's not in that job for the money because there's not any money in it. It's not about the money. It's about teaching children, getting them ready for life. And that's why, I don't know, that's why I married her. She's awesome. And she puts up with me, Dorinda. If she put up with me.
Yeah, no, I mean, kids were always I mean, when I was younger and I lived in Chapel, which is a small town way up north compared to here, I would be a babysitter. Okay. I would never just have one child I babysat.
Right.
During the day, I'd have 30 kids. I'd be their daycare. Okay. And we did all kinds of things together. Like we would do projects, we would paint, we would go to the beach. Like I did all these things with these kids. And I had an impact on those kids.
Of course.
Because I was like, I was always a very blunt person.
No.
And very straightforward.
You? Really?
And if a kid said something hinky was going on at home, do you not think I went to the parents and said, what the fuck are you doing to this kid? And you best stop it, or I'm doing this. And it wasn't, I'm going to call Children's Aid. It was, I'm going to beat your ass.
Old school.
Yes, old school, right?
My mom was the same way. She never chewed her cabbage twice. That's an old saying. My mama would never chew her cabbage twice. She would tell you how it is immediately. She didn't hold back. She would tell you, you're not going to like what I have to say, but there's no way I can keep this in, and you're going to hear it. And that's how she raised me.
And you're going to do this.
Yep.
And if you don't do this, I will do that.
I can still hear her. This is how we're going to do it. Okay, Mama. Okay.
Yeah. And I had a lot of parents go, you can't do that. I said, your child is in my care from from 8 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. I said, how much time do you spend with your kid? The kid comes home, has a bath, goes to bed.
That's it.
I said, and you're smacking this kid around? I don't fucking think so.
No.
I said, I'll smack you around. And they're looking at me, and they're taller than me, they're bigger than me, whatever, right? And I look at them and I said, don't push me, because you won't like it. And they would kind of talk to their friends or something, and they would come back and they would say, okay, that's not going to happen anymore. I said, it better not, because if I find out it is, you'll be sorry.
That's it. Bonnie, are you still here? You took over Bonnie's show. Get over.
I'm sorry, Bonnie.
She's never going to let me back on, so I might as well enjoy it. That's going to be it.
You know what, John? You're welcome anytime.
I'm just kidding.
You are welcome anytime.
I listen to a lot of shows, and I don't go up on many of them, and so a lot of them don't come in. I just like to listen a lot of times. I just like to listen.
Well, I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, it's always fun. I like little channels too, because it's just like we were sitting having coffee or a beer or something. We're just
that's right.
You know,
that's me having a beer.
Yeah, you're all every time I see you, got that beer. Now, what brand are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Lager Ice, because it's 5.5%.
Ooh, Lager. Yeah,
that's Canadian beer. That's Canadian beer. Do you get American beer? Do you get American beer there?
Yeah, I can, but I don't like it because it's like drinking piss.
So it's weaker.
It's hard to find a good beer.
This beer is usually $36 a case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you buy 2 cases, it's only $67. So I like buying 2 cases.
God, that's a lot for beer.
That's a lot of money for beer.
That's normal. That's the cheap beer here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How much alcohol content?
5.5.
5.5?
Yeah.
What is ours, John?
About that, about the same.
That's what I thought.
There's some that are more, but they're nasty. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
Miller
mean,
Highlight is like 3.2 or something.
Yeah, it's not much.
yeah.
No, it's like disastrous. And
I
I
that's
don't
the
know.
drink,
only,
I don't
that's the
drink a
only
lot of beer
American
anymore.
beer we can get here is Miller
Yeah.
Highlight.
I don't drink a lot of beer anymore. And I like to drink cold beer when I'm eating boiled seafood. You know, that's why I really
Yeah.
like cold beer. But
My mom drinks it once in a while, and it's got to
yeah,
be
I don't drink a
Shiner
whole lot
Bock.
anymore. I
If
don't.
it's not Shiner Bock, she's not having it.
Bock, that's actually a good beer.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good beer.
She got used to that
Most of
German
the U.S.
beer.
beer is 3.5%, not 5.5.
Mm.
Uh, but what you were talking about, that's the same way it was with when I was a school bus driver, and then when I did the Girl Scouts forever. And those kids to this day still,
Hmm.
I get the hugs and
Well, when I go to Shaplo, my brownie leader, I see her all the time when I'm in Shaplo, and she's still brown owl,
yeah.
and she still gets hugs.
Yeah.
Or my
Bonnie,
brownie leader, she was brown owl. I'll still give her hugs. Like, yeah.
You were pretty tough to be a bus driver. You know, I didn't mind driving 18 wheelers, but a bus with kids, I,
Oh, I loved it.
I
And you know
could
what?
not do that.
Guess how old I was? I was 19 when I got my commercial license.
Wow. Yeah.
And but I loved it. And so that's what made it easier
Mm.
because I was like on the same wavelength as them.
So who
Yeah.
taught you how to drive the bus? Because they didn't
Mm,
have driving schools back then.
nobody. They just told me to drive it up to get my license, and so I took the tests, and
Yeah.
I could parallel park that bus on a dime.
That's,
Because when we'd go to marching contests or anything, you have to all be parked in a line, and it was
Wow.
fun.
that's cool.
Well, the only time I ever had a little mess up, you do not swerve if a deer runs out in front of you. Just
Nope.
plow into it.
Got it. Yeah.
Luckily, my bus was empty. It was fishtailing all over the highway, but I got it under control. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, Gigi, what did you just say? Thursday night is
Thursday.
B-Day party night.
Gigi, are you drinking?
BTW. What does BTW mean? Bonnie?
Okay, wait. I'm looking for
By the
words.
way,
By the
BTW. By the
way,
way.
What?
By the way,
Oh,
BTW.
by the way. Okay.
because Gigi's birthday is the 10th, Shane's is the 11th, Pappy's is the 12th.
Of what
Right?
month?
Oh, I got it wrong.
This month.
What?
This
Oh, my son's birthday is tomorrow.
really.
22. Yeah.
So Gigi's birthday's the 9th, and Shane's is the 10th.
No, Gigi's is the 10th, Shane's is the 11th, Pappy's is the 12th. I think. Do I have that right, Gigi?
Pappy, you still there?
They're all like boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I'm reading the chat. Oh, Gigi, I drink Crown too. I love Crown. I really do. I love Crown Royal.
And Lisa's is the 25th.
And Lisa's is Christmas Day. That's right.
Hey, Lisa, that's got to be tough. You get ripped off. You're getting ripped off. Well, Lisa, this is going to cover birthday and Christmas.
No,
No.
I think she said she got a present for each occasion.
Yeah.
My son was supposed to be born around the 24th, 25th of December,
Mm-hmm.
but he was born on the 6th of January.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of glad about that.
My second son I tried to have him. He was supposed to be a firecracker, but he was born July the 3rd.
Wow. Oh, my aunt's got a birthday this month. It's on the 17th.
I have so many in December. My two grandsons are the first and second. My youngest daughter is the second. And then another grandson is the 15th. I think that's all now for
I
December.
have my sister-in-law on the 2nd. My brother-in-law, I think it's around the 11th, but I might be wrong.
Yeah.
September is a hard month for me. I have like 8.
That's my birthday month is September
Virgo.
21st. September 21st. That's a Virgo,
Yep.
whatever that means. I don't follow that. So
I thought you were coming up, Gigi.
I used to didn't. And my girlfriend, she kept telling me, don't ever date a Virgo. Well, my last husband was a Virgo.
uh-oh.
But it's not, he was a good person, but he just got lost a little along the way.
Mm-hmm.
He would have done anything for anybody outside the house. He still would. He still fixes my car. I can't complain.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Sometimes things just don't work out,
Yes.
It's just the way it is, So.
Yep.
Holy crap, Gigi. That's a lot of birthdays in December.
24, 28.
Be right back, Mother Nature.
3 on the 31st. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a lot of birthdays. I would just have a birthday month and throw one big party.
My son wants to
At
have a
the beginning.
bonfire. So this Saturday, we're getting rain most of this week, but Saturday night he's going to invite a bunch of his friends over, and I've got a big trash pile in the back that I've accumulated.
Yep.
I'm in the landscaping business, and a lot of times when I trim trees or cut trees down or stuff for people, I haul the branches off for them, and I just bring them to my property. And I have a 5-acre property, and I bring them in the back of it and make a big bonfire. So he's like,
Yep.
Dad, can we burn the wood you have stacked up? I'm like, yeah. So Saturday night I'll have, I don't know how many 21, 22, 23-year-old people here at my house drinking beer and racing. So
Yep.
but
It's when you take their keys at the gate and don't let them leave.
my mom used to do the exact thing, Bonnie.
Yep.
And my mama used to let us drink at 17. But see, my mama was smart. She knew that we were going to drink, we were going to get into trouble. So she said, I'm going to have a talk with your moms. And if they agree, you're going to come to the house. Y'all can play cards, do whatever y'all do. And you're not leaving till the next morning. So when the guys would walk in, she'd stand at the door and hold her hand out, keys, keys, keys. And
Yeah.
then once we would all get together, she'd walk in the back room, and when she had us all together, and she would say, now, any of you smart asses with extra keys, if I see your car gone, I'm calling the cops on you. Then I'm calling mama. Oh, we're not, we're staying. And so, I learned I'm doing the same thing with my kids. When
Yeah.
they have get-togethers, they're all of drinking age now, but when they have friends over, I tell them the same thing. I said, you're either not going to drink or you're going to have a designated driver, one or the other,
Yep.
or you're going to spend the night, one or the other.
Oh, I've driven a lot of. I used to volunteer for, especially New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody needs a ride, call me. Here's my number.
Anytime.
Yes,
Yep.
I will get you where you need to be.
Yep. My mom was the same way. I'm the same way. So
Yep.
you learn a lot from your parents if you got good parents. And I had good parents. So I was lucky.
Yeah, you were.
I guess,
I didn't learn that from my parents. I took it upon myself. I lost 4 good friends. It was in about a 2-year period, and I was like, all right, this has to stop. Because when you're in a small town, you know everybody, and so I just started. If I saw that they had been drinking too much, give me your keys. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
And leave their vehicle right there wherever they were at, and take them home.
Well, that's what we'll be doing here. Now, this room that I'm in is my office, and it's got 2 couches in it, a recliner, a big screen TV in the back, and a little kitchen. And then out the back of this place is you go out in the yard a ways, and there's the wood pile, and that's going to have the bonfire. So if anybody needs to crash, they just come in here, take the couch, sleep on the floor. I don't care, but you ain't leaving, and they know that. So my kids I've really been blessed to have good kids so far because they're pretty smart. I really didn't have to. We didn't really have to stay on them too much. They kind of they figured it out early, how to do things. And my son's really responsible. And
Well, you have to drop the link for Gigi.
Sorry about that, hon. I guess it has been a while.
Come on up.
Sorry,
Gigi.
John. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
There we go. Yeah.
So it's really nice talking to you, John.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. What time is it up there? It's almost 11 o'clock here. It's past my bedtime.
Almost midnight here.
Yeah, we used to have a dance hall here, and everybody would come over after, and I'd be making the eggs and sausage with flour tortillas and paste pecan sauce. Because I didn't want them to drive to Austin, because a lot of them would 50 miles just to get
I have a niece that lives in Austin.
breakfast or whatever. Really?
Yeah, my wife has family in Houston, Dallas, Beaumont. Hey, Gigi. You're muted. Now you're frozen.
I think you're frozen.
In slow motion.
Oh.
You're muted, Gigi.
Okay.
Gigi, have you been into the sauce?
She can't even figure out how to get on panel.
You see that look on her face? It's like,
yes.
what's going on with this thing?
She's a mess.
Yeah, y'all have me cracking up when I jump in and just listen to y'all. And Gigi gets to going. It's funny as hell. You got it working?
Hello, Gigi. You're muted.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, but your mouth isn't moving.
Oh, don't cry.
Okay, I proposed those things. Can you hear me now?
A
Yes.
little bit, yeah.
Okay.
When I say she can say 20 subjects in one sentence, I'm not lying.
Chapter 7.
Oh.
Oh, we got Bluetooth earbuds now.
I got a birthday present early
Aw.
because it was the first time I was. It was so hilarious. So I want to get a pair of headphones because these little annoying things pop out of your ear and all that. And yeah.
But now you don't have a mic.
You don't have a good mic.
Oh, is it not picking up well?
Not too good.
Yeah, my volume up. Does that help turn the volume up?
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You might have to go back to the other ones too, Jake.
Aww.
Oh,
I like that.
that's the one that I use.
Okay.
What's better if I'm closer? Does that make a difference if I'm closer? I'm curious.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, that's a little effort.
Yeah,
For $250.
Oh,
Of course, that's not what he paid. He just happened to come across a really good deal.
where's my?
It depends where it sits on me.
So the
My mic
earbuds,
is in the camera.
the earbuds have a built-in mic.
Yeah, it's supposed to work really good. I'm surprised you guys don't hear that. Like I'm trying to talk normal, but you guys are hearing me this much.
Well, you're better now.
I turned up my volume, so
Now that I'm closer, it probably goes better, right?
yeah.
No. Back up just a little bit where you were.
Okay, I'm gonna switch the other ones on. But before I do that, you know what's
Copy on our
amazing?
computer.
You're warbly. You're warbly now.
Am I? Better?
Yes.
Yes.
There.
Better?
Yes.
There you
Well, that's right. When I put them back in and play around and going, maybe it needs to be more this way. Like, I just, coolest little gadget. I took my phone because it was like, okay, how do you load it? I need some other plug-in. And I was afraid to use the other plug-in because it's the wrong thing. But, lo and behold, it was the right plug-in. So, I plug it in from there, but yet, this little gadget that it comes in is just so cool. Little pod case that it holds. And it's also the charging thing. So one piece goes here,
go.
and the other end is like super shiny. Yeah, with super shiny. I'm like, that's just like, oh, cool.
Yep.
So yeah, so
You want them? I hate them. I don't even use them. You want them? I give them to you.
Well,
mine are the Pro.
real good.
I got the Air Pro. Air Pro.
That's what my son has. He has those. I can't stand them. I don't like them.
Because because these ones
I bought a set of
annoying.
headphones with a mic and it doesn't work.
Yeah, these things have, like, I don't know if yours has it, but they have 3 different little pieces for your earbuds to put into your ear too.
You can change them.
Yeah, apparently that's the difference. Man, are they ever comfortable and everything? I was like, put them in and like, wow, what a difference. Okay, so I'm gonna put my other ones on. Hang on a second.
Well, they're not sounding very good.
No.
Get them back. Get your money back.
So I only paid $100. Somebody across the work probably had a nice new deal for a few days.
So are you okay with your fall? Oh, she's still fighting with her head.
It's you see my nice little elbow?
Oh
shit. That's
So
gonna hurt
I
tomorrow. It's
Ooh.
already fucking
Yeah.
bruised now.
wrong leg. So I kind of had a bit of a bruise here, and I didn't know what I did. All of a sudden, it was just hurting. Now today, kind of did, because lately it's like this. You feel like you don't have anything.
My uncle used to say, rub some dirt on it, boy. You'll be all right. Just rub some dirt on it.
Me, it was walk it off.
Yeah, walk it off.
You're worrying about this company and
I
you're
ain't kissing your bubbles. Walk it off.
not paying attention to what you're doing, rushing around.
I was. The thing is, okay, so last night at flight for yesterday, wait a minute, I got to put these headphones in because all I keep
Yes.
thinking is numbers around me.
So we can understand you. Beep, 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 beep.
I was looking for the box that my camera came in because it has the mic built in it. So I didn't have to buy an extra mic. And I'm using the speakers on my desktop, which are, I don't know if you can see them, these.
Do you have a channel that you go
All
up?
right. Is that better?
Mm-hmm. So do you have your own channel, John? John?
I got one I haven't finished yet. And I really, to be honest, I haven't decided what I want to do with it. There's an interest in my state for doing an outdoor type show. There's Louisiana is a huge sportsman state, hunting and fishing. So I might go in that direction. And the way YouTube is, you start getting into politics and this too much, and they just take your damn channel down. And I just don't want to go down that road. And then you spend all that time, and then they yank it out from under you.
Yeah.
And then you get other people pissed off at you because, well, you don't believe in this. Well, I believe in this. I'm like, I don't want to, So I'm thinking of doing something else when I do it. So,
I think music had a general thing lately, I'd say, over the last month. You guys want to see it for the last month or so? It's just kind of seems some people are starting to go, okay, Brenda, am I like messed up talking or what?
You're kind of muffled and low.
Hey, what's going on tonight? See, this is the other headphone.
yeah, I've heard you on the board crystal clear.
Yeah.
I heard your shirt better than I heard you.
That better now?
Now
You guys
you're
hear any
frozen.
better now?
Yeah, but now you're frozen.
Look at that face.
Somebody is out to get you.
She's like, I'm mad now.
Face is perfect. I got to take a picture of that.
I know.
I don't have my phone.
She's all, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, she disconnected before I was about to take a picture.
Damn it.
She's refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bonnie, you'd be proud of me today.
What'd you do?
Went to the other channel for a little bit
Oh.
and got really bored and went somewhere else and didn't go back.
Did it work?
Yes!
Hey!
Touchdown!
So really, it's sort of buffering all this. And I need to
There
shut
you
the whole
are.
thing down because the mics were probably like crisscrossing or something.
And now
Cool.
we can hear you and everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it a good thing?
It was funny.
We think it is.
We were laughing at you.
It is.
I I even threw these things across the table going, are they too close or something? But these tiny little things, I must say, They're very comfortable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing with these things tend to slide around. And after a while, when I'm talking, I was like, all of a sudden I notice they've turned down and it's like the volume goes down. So I got to keep going. Yeah, move them upwards again. It's like, okay, I can hear everybody again. But it's like, so I was going online to get a pair of headphones that, sat on your head with
Right.
the cushiony things
Yeah.
on the couch at Best Buy, looking what's out there. What's this? I'm like, what time's the storeroom? Nah, all right, I'll do it tomorrow. And I need an adapter and this and that, but whatever. And then the next thing you know, here's my husband going, okay, I can't wait any longer because you're just gonna mess this up. So happy early birthday. I'm like, what? I'm looking, I'm like, Air Pro, but what? And all the first thing that came to mind, I'm like, I hate these things.
That's good. See, he doesn't mind you doing this.
You're
And she's
frozen
right.
again, Gigi.
He's supporting you. At least she's smiling this time.
Yeah.
She did that one night. We were on, me and Anna were on with her. And like every few seconds, she would freeze up. And
Yep.
then she'd come back. And it was the funniest thing. So she took that the next day and she made a intro out of it.
Oh,
Yep.
internet comes
There you are.
back.
Now
I'm
you're back.
holding this up in the air going, where'd my internet go?
Are you in a teeter totter?
Well, which one are you, the teeter or the totter?
Or the daughter.
And who's the teeter?
Daughter.
Now she's froze again.
Oh, she's gone again.
So,
Oh, I think she's got bad weather where she is too.
yeah,
Oh,
there's
Weather
like,
like
that's screwy. It's doesn't like it in the garage. Every now and then, it just doesn't like it in the garage.
well,
So-
you
It's my
have to
fault,
fix up
Gigi.
your
It's got to be my
basement.
fault. It's got to be my fault.
Get your basement going. Get your basement going.
No. it's
See,
not.
I wiped out. It wrecked my mojo. I'm all so
Yep.
it's screwing up the.
So
Lisa-
did you have to go out and shovel today, Gigi?
Well, no, that was the funny thing. Yesterday, it like during the day, it snowed down pretty good. It's like, here it comes, right? And hubby's going, no. It's gonna like melt overnight. I'm like, what? Oh yeah, it's gonna warm up a whole bunch. I'm like, you're kidding. So last night, when I was doing the podcast, you could hear. Wait a minute. Yeah, Sunday night. Every now and then, I'd hear the rain just pounding down, assuming it's because he's above me. And I'm thinking, oh, he's probably waking up now and then from the rain, right? The cat 4 times she went up and bugged him. I guess when it rained, whenever she goes up to get a rub, it's bothering her, whatever. So he kept waking up from her. But yeah, by morning I was like, wow, that like really rained down and like kind of like washed it all away. So tonight, and I've been in the garage a couple times, grabbed it, whatever, during the day, and I come out here and I got my stuff just doing the usual walk, and I'm like, all of a sudden, down my ass as fast as that. Just that spot loves me, man. It brand new driveway, so it's a little bit of rain that got frozen, I guess, right on that spot. That was a really nice, smooth new driveway. So of course, and I am clenching to my laptop, a tissue box, a glass. Yeah. And that's where I went down. So I had no chance. I was let go of my laptop. Fuck that shit. Ow. Keep my elbow down.
So you can't get to your basement from your house from inside?
No, I have to go. Yeah, I have to go out my front door to go into the garage. There's no garage door that goes into. So yeah, so when
Yeah,
I
but so you need
leave,
to set up your studio in the basement so you don't fall in the fucking driveway. Oh, did I say that out loud? I
didn't hear that.
apologize. I'm sorry, people. I love you, Gigi.
see, this is our lovely polyed up wall, right? Okay, so we have like a mezzanine for half the garage. So we took the garage and we have it, with a tarp, whatever, taped up, whatever, so that with the garage heater going. It's not bad here. And then here's our game of Catan that we play.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so
Let's see what it is here. It's 57 degrees here.
It's probably about, right now, I would say it's about, I'll say 36 degrees. That's my guess right now.
Yeah.
Because yesterday was kind of,
9.
Yeah.
We're at 9.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 10 tomorrow, 50 degrees tomorrow. I'm like, what the hell's like? So that's where hubby was going. Oh yeah, looks like you're gonna get a green birthday. I'm like, yep. It would have if somebody would told me I was a kid, because he used to say as a kid, I hate winter Christmas. It just blows, right? And every once in a while, like I'm like, oh, I get a green birthday. Now it's like, when's the last time I had a white birthday? Global warming.
No.
There's something going on.
I think it has to do with that fart machine, man.
Those damn cows. Those cows are farting. Jeez,
I can't wait. I'm waiting. Okay. Part of me is waiting to see when we get out of all this shit and we have no more chemicals in our food or our water and and the weather's not manipulated. I want to see what the hell the weather is going to be like.
Good luck.
That's what I can't wait to see.
It's always changing though, Dorinda.
They've manipulated our food. I don't know if we can go back to unmanipulated food. Like it's unreal what they're
Yep.
That's what I was telling you last night.
We'll have no manipulated food, no manipulated water, and no manipulated weather.
But see, this is what you got to do.
What the hell is it going to be like in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada in the winter?
You got to go to farms or butchers, get your meat naturally. I have a place where it's all farm fresh eggs and meats and whatever that I go to. I don't go to the main superstores and whatever else. I'm trying to keep up with my garden and doing it right and be able to store it. I'm so ticked. You should have seen the carrots that I grew. I must have had 100 carrots in the box. I did it like to the T this year. Got it going, whatever. Storing them in this bucket with sand and whatever else. That didn't work for storage. So they run on my carrots.
You know what?
Like,
no. My mother, who lived in Sault Ste. Marie, left her carrots in her garden. Okay. And Christmas Day, she went out and dug up her carrots, and we had fresh carrots Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
It is, the more I'm thinking, I'm like, I probably would have been better off leaving it in, especially the way the weather is and everything. I'm like, they're not even going to get frozen. Yeah. It's like, all those carrots I wasted. They were so good. Oh, my dad always had a nice garden in the backyard with the carrots and the potatoes and green onions, and we had 2 apple trees. We had a grape thing around the corner, and this was just a small little, like a small bungalow house with a half, somewhat of an all right backyard, and he just made the most of it. And watching him do it, that's all I've been doing since this COVID crap started and whatever else. I've been just going nuts on my garden. Yeah, love my fresh stuff. I screwed up my lettuce. I don't know what I did this year, but I screwed my lettuce up. I was so disappointed because last year it turned out so good. So I have to figure out what I did wrong. But.
Well, I planted 3 different kinds of lettuce. I ended up getting 1 kind of lettuce, which was in different spots where I didn't even fucking plant it. Spots where I didn't even fucking plant it, this lettuce kept growing. And I had 4 fucking feet of lettuce. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
Dorinda, were you drinking? Was alcohol involved when you were planting the garden? That could be what happened.
No.
My seeds.
Yeah. Did you plant any of the neighbors?
Bonnie and I were talking earlier about tomatoes.
Yeah, we were talking about tomatoes.
And tomatoes come up everywhere.
She was saying about having a hard time finding cherry tomato seeds. Right. I says, buy the cherry tomatoes.
Yep.
Cut them up, slice them up, and throw them in the ground. They'll grow.
Yep.
I heard that a couple of years ago, and I've been doing that ever since. And I'm like, holy crap!
Yep.
I'm not buying no more
You
fucking
gotta
tomato
start,
seeds.
yeah, you
I'll
just gotta
buy a
start them
peach
up early
sweet
enough in the
tomato.
house.
I'll buy a Roma tomato
Yep.
and a cherry tomato, and I'll plant them. I won't buy seeds anymore. I'm
My
done.
red peppers and my yellow peppers, I grew all from the peppers from the store.
We have
Everything didn't cost me
we
a
have a
dime. It was great.
local farmer that does tomatoes only, and he plants like 500 or 600 plants a year.
Wow.
And when he orders his, I get some from him. He always gets the best ones.
Yep.
I don't know where he gets them from. But those are celebrities. They're called celebrities. And that brand is tolerant to the heat and humidity that we have down here.
Oh, that's what I need.
The worst thing you can do to a tomato is put it in a lot of heat. It kills them.
That's where I live in Ontario, although people don't believe it down there.
Yeah.
It gets brutal hot sometimes.
And then I plant the cherry tomatoes. But now I plant my tomatoes in February because I have a greenhouse. So as soon as I can get tomatoes, I'll put my greenhouse together and put my heat lamps in it. And I use these big planters. I put them in, and I get them going. And I have tomatoes. I'm eating tomatoes before it gets really hot outside.
Nice.
And, so I get them a little earlier because the heat just destroys tomatoes down here. It's just.
I'm not kidding. I bet you I threw away like 50 tomatoes because of the way the heat went this year.
Yeah.
I wanted to cry.
Yeah. Tomatoes don't do heat.
No.
Heat and humidity. We have both here. So
the girls told me they're going to build me a greenhouse when we move. So we'll see.
Get that in writing.
Right.
They're really easy to build, Bonnie. I make them out of 1x4 plank woods and visqueen. And I get a staple gun. And I build the frame, and then I put the visqueen over it, staple it down.
What are you calling that?
Visqueen is like plastic sheeting.
Is it the poly?
It's
not quite that.
It's called plastic sheeting.
Oh, okay.
We call it visqueen. And
is it hard?
It lets the sunlight get through, but it keeps the cold out.
Is it hard?
I'm sorry.
Is it hard or is it in a roll?
It's in a roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll look on my phone and see if I have a picture of it.
So probably kind of like the same stuff I got up hanging as my walls right now in the garage.
Yeah, probably so. GJ, except it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Hubby gets it through work.
The clear tablecloths from Dollarama would work too. Well, the dollar store, sorry.
But I would assume like the thicker, the better kind of thing, right?
Well, if you buy the clear tablecloths at Dollarama, at our Dollarama, Gigi, they're really thick.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I know it's funny. Sometimes at the dollar store you find that half decent stuff for the quality.
Yeah.
I'm surprised sometimes.
They're thicker than it's like it's a thicker plastic.
Mm-hmm. Like the stuff I use for going camping over top the picnic tables.
Oh, here's a better picture of my dog that I was showing a while ago.
Oh,
she's beautiful.
It's a male. It's a boy.
Okay, he's beautiful.
That's right. Bear, right?
Chocolate lab.
Yeah.
He's got that gray beard thing going on. He's really cool.
My dog's 6 years old and he's got the gray beard growing already.
I was looking for this. I don't know if I can find that picture. These phones hold like 3,000 freaking pictures. So
you wonder why your phone gets slow. There you go.
So if I look for it now, probably on Saturday I'll find it and I'll show you.
Yep.
You sound like my husband. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? 5 minutes later, somewhere in here.
I have got to clean mine out. I keep taking screenshots in chat. Somebody will say something and I'm like, ooh, I got to know that. And so I screenshot it. And I've got to go through all that and get it in my notebook. I have a survival notebook that I am writing everything down, what I have, what I
That's
need,
good. Yep, that's good though.
and I'm
It takes
journaling.
me 5 minutes to go through my bookmarks.
So I'm journaling too. So the girls will have something to see what they need to continue on when I'm not around someday.
Oh, here's one of them. Now, this one on the side of our house, I have a plant. It's called variegated ginger, and it's a tropical plant,
Mhm.
and it does really well. But it doesn't. When it gets a frost on it, it starts killing it. So I made a greenhouse for it, and this is what I was going to show you, Bonnie.
Oh, yeah.
See that? But see
Oh,
the
that's
slat to the
neat.
top. I clipped the lights on the inside.
Yes.
That's what you need for your little. You can put tomatoes in it. It's taller than what you think. And that piece of wood in the front, that's the door. And I just do
Okay.
like 4 screws on it, and I just get my little drill gun and take the screws out. But that's what I do with that plant when we get because we don't get a lot of winters here. But when we get a bad winter and we get down in the 20s or something, we got to cover
Yes.
everything up. It'll die. It'll kill it.
Just give me
Well,
an
I
idea
bring
because I
them.
have 4 garden boxes that I put in. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah, I could have, if same thing with the carrots, had I put the plastic up, whatever, I probably could have just kept picking that through the winter.
Yep.
But you get some 1x4s and some screws, and just make you a big box with it. And then once you get it made, you just put that plastic sheeting over it and get that staple gun and staple it down. And that's it. It's
Wow.
you can build one from ground up in a couple of hours, if somebody's pretty handy,
And you don't put any heat in there or
I'll put those big lights in there. Hold on a minute.
like a light strip?
You ran them off.
Making him run all over the place.
Here, this light,
Oh, okay.
just a little. I got that from Walmart. It's like $4.
That's
And
like
I
a
put
heat lamp, right?
and I put a 100-watt bulb in it, an incandescent bulb, so it get warm. And then it's got the clamps. You see, you just clamp
That's
it.
what we use for the goats and stuff too.
Yeah, and then I just get a strip and I plug them all in together, and then I just have one switch and just turn them on.
Good idea.
Do it yourself.
Okay.
And but it's really handy. It doesn't take much because our winters aren't very long. We might get a cold patch with it might last 2 days, 3 days at the most, and then you're done. Then
That's what I was telling them, that we might get a freeze like throughout our whole winter. It may freeze actually 2 weeks out of the whole winter.
Right. And I think we're in a La Nina year this year, so that means that the jet stream is going to stay further to the north, and that we're not going to have much of a winter this year.
And I kept hearing we were going to have a really hard winter. And
we probably still could, because of the cow farts. The cow farts are messing up everything.
Remember
How about
last
this?
February?
We got winter.
Did you get hit with that snow last February?
I did. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's like even listening to the weather guy, they could tell you this, and this, but you just still don't know. I mean, I wish and I should say that because I know that means global warming has to occur to do it, but I really wish where we are in Ontario didn't have snow in the winter. I would love to be able to garden all year long and have my plants keep going. Not that I got to shut it down, that start all over again.
We get snow here, and everybody's like playing in it and having a blast. And
Yes.
man, it's the greatest thing in the world. And then about 2 days later, you're like, man, the snow go away. You're busting your ass. You can't get around. All the streets are closed.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do y'all shut down too? Because we do.
There's probably not a snowplow in the entire state of Louisiana.
No,
There's probably not one. There's probably not one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not either.
When we get shut down because of that, they just shut the whole state down. All the roads, everything, schools, done. And in the amount I'm talking about, y'all would be laughing at us. You're like,
Yeah.
True enough. True enough.
4 inches.
yeah, we get 4 inches of snow, it shuts us down, and y'all going, that's not even snow.
You wouldn't want to drive in and around where I am and going into Toronto and all this. I'm telling you, it's, and that's where I sit there and go with some of the stuff's like, there should be some kind of law that when so much amount of snow falls and a certain amount that everybody should just take the day off with pay, because it's not worth the traveling, taking the chance of getting your car schmucked up because nobody knows how to drive in it anymore. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Gigi, you get way less snow than we do. So don't even start with that crap.
I would not want to be up where you are. Man, I went up North Bay once and went to a wedding in January at 40 below, and that was Celsius. That was insane.
Yeah,
why do people live up there? I don't understand.
Because we can.
Hey, remember when I was
I don't
talking
want
about the crawfish we eat down here? Here, have a look at that. What?
Yep. That's
What
a
the fuck is
familiar
that?
shot.
Crawfish.
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 And
Crawfish.
what's a crawfish?
That makes me think of Elvis Presley.
Crawfish.
They're little like
crayfish. Y'all might call them crayfish up there.
Yeah,
what's
crayfish.
that?
Okay.
I don't know what that is either.
a
It's
mini
kind of like a mini lobster.
Yeah, mini lobster.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, I don't have a clue. I don't see those anywhere where I am.
We can't afford lobster, so we have to eat bugs that come out of a ditch.
Right.
I grew up in a friend of mine had 5 acres of land, and a pool and whatever else. It was great. They had a pond and whatever, and there was crayfish in there. She used to chase me with it. Oh, I hated when she chased me with it because I didn't, now it would be a big deal. That looks yummy.
Now look at that.
You see all the seasoning in there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That big container I was showing you early, that's what you dump into there. So there's no crawfish in there yet. That's just the seasoning and the vegetables and lemons and garlic and stuff we put in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get that tune out of my head now.
What tune?
Elvis Presley. Yeah, I was a King Creole or whatever. Where the lady starts walking into town yelling crawfish to sell, kind of thing, going crawfish.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, that's a 1960 something old black and white movie with Elvis. I tell you what, you guys gap. I'll find it and then you can play it. You guys talked about crawfish. I'm like, that's all I can hear in my head.
Here you go.
Can you get out of my way?
This amount of snow right here shut our state down. Shut it down. The whole state. That
And
amount of
how
snow.
much
Was that
snow
from
was that?
That was 2017, I think.
And how much snow was that?
Oh, okay.
That was 5 inches, almost 5 inches.
Oh,
Almost 5 inches.
Yeah.
I love it when
That
they
one in February was
Yeah.
I love it when they
was
pull
like
the damn
2 feet.
buses off, and
Yeah.
you still got to get your kids to school.
The timestamp on this is December 8th, 2017.
Ooh, close. 2 more days.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, watch my crazy dog.
Yep.
Everybody had snowmen in their yard, didn't they?
Watch my dog play with a snowball.
Yeah, but our snowmen are gray
Dogs
because
are
of the
awesome.
dirt.
I remember the snowstorm or whatever it was we got one time that we put on our ice skates and we were skating down the sidewalks.
He's just having fun.
Is that
with
when
his
is that
snowball.
when they called the army in?
That was like the blizzard of 77 or something.
I don't know.
Okay, Bonnie, I put a little link in in the private chat if you feel like playing a little bit of it. But that's what I was talking about. It was King Creole. That was the movie. Sorry, I'm an Elvis fan. I love my Elvis.
Do I just click on it and it'll do it?
So you know how you do your intro and you share your intro? It'd be the same thing. So you open it up and then you share it. Gotta get you practicing.
Opening a new tab. Gotcha.
DG, have you ever been to Graceland?
No, I would love to.
I went. I got to go a couple of times. It was a long time ago.
I still remember the day he died. We had just gotten into the car. My mom, my sister, and I was in the back seat. My sister and my mom were in the front seat when it came on over the radio. It broke my heart that day. And I was 10. I was just like, what? Or no, wait a minute. 12. No, 11. I would turn 12 at the end of the year. I had to think about it. Wait a minute. I was only 7.
You got to stop a minute. Okay, you're loaded. Now I got to go to share.
But yeah, total. I love all the old Elvis movies and stuff like that too. It's just, but I like all the old movies. You know, they just don't make them like they do.
They don't.
They used to. You know, it's just such a different era back then.
Okay, here you go, Dorinda. Here's a crawfish and my crazy dog attacking him.
Oh my God.
Wait. Are y'all ready? I'm like,
oh yeah, like a Johnny over the dog. Yeah, that's a good size one.
He won't grab him because he knows he's going to get pinched if he does. So he just barks at him.
My friend had a ton of them. They used to be in the pond and down, you know, as the little river kind of went into the pond, and she'd just pick them up, play with them. I'm like, you nuts?
all right.
All right, what is this song? What is this? Elvis Presley, Crawfish Film, Creole.
From the movie King Creole.
I sure don't remember that.
Oh, I know.
You have to have this stuff from these old movies.
I know right where that is.
Is that in New Orleans?
Yeah, that's the St. Louis Cathedral.
It's a weird beginning. I was like, you know what? My dad. Not the one I thought it was. I should have played it first because I just naturally assumed it was the one I wanted. That didn't do justice to what I was talking about. Okay, chat for a minute.
Yes, Lisa, I'm off tomorrow. That's why I'm still here.
I was like, oh, that was a really weird intro, and that's not what I'm used to hearing. Okay, I better mute myself. You guys are gonna hear me, so hang on. I gotta find it now.
But thank you for asking, Lisa.
Well, I've never seen that one. Yes.
Lisa doesn't want to come up. You're sitting down there all by yourself, Lisa.
Yeah, I think
come up.
Right?
Ani can drop you the link.
Unless somebody's hiding. It's not saying, but I'll do it.
The link's still showing.
I don't see the link.
I see it.
Okay, I found the right one. The good singing starts at about 17 seconds in. Yeah, I put a little comment in saying hello, Poppy, a while ago, and I didn't hear nothing. So, because he had his little break and he went back to his painting or what he was doing. Maybe he went to bed.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see him here.
Yes, that was sweet from the drop.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
nothing
now
like an
you.
Elvis Presley. What a loss. What a loss. I know he's not out there coming back to life, people. Although I wish all these people were coming back, but nope. Gonna have to wait till we get to the other side to party with them.
Elvis is still alive.
Yeah, I don't know any more about that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a minister in somewhere.
Yep, I know. Know all about him, and I've dug in real deep with him too.
Went way down that rabbit hole, and I didn't find any.
You would believe all the stuff I've looked up in the last year, and then kind of change your ways of thinking a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I know this site's fake now. I know this site is fake now, and I know that site is fake now. Now that we're in December, it's like everything everybody's been waiting for since like what, January, February, March. It's not happening, people.
Not gonna happen.
Yep. Give up.
But life goes on. Life goes on.
Exactly. You know, and that's what it is. That's what's kind of upsetting me a little bit. It's like people, you're forgetting how to live now too. Okay. I know COVID sucked and whatever. We gotta get out there. We gotta start living life, put back out those bright lights and think positive. And you know,
the only one bailing us out
decorating.
Yep. We're the only ones that
crazy
bail us
on my decorations now because my kids are coming home for Christmas. I'm so excited.
Good.
Yeah. If only my son could make it here too. But yeah. Anyways, yep. 17 seconds. Oh, just like 17 seconds in.
17.
Yeah. You don't really need to listen to that woman for the first, say, 15 seconds.
Okay.
There wasn't no moon, but the stars were bright. Put a big log on the big pole, and I pulled Mr. Crawfish out of his hole.
Crawfish. Got all about that song. I remember that now.
I don't.
Fresh and ready.
There's just something about the two voices together, it always stuck in my head. So every time I hear something stuck up a crawfish, like, just comes right out.
Thanks, Gigi. Now I'm going to bed singing crawfish. Bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm eating crawfish from the head to my feet. Yeah, I'm done. I'm not sleeping tonight. Shit.
Oh. Hey, yeah. I'm all shook up. So that's why I was thinking about getting a Zoom thing going, because I could get away with playing music on a Zoom and not have to worry about it like YouTube.
So one of my mom's friends when I was a kid, she was the Elvis freak. You go in her house, she's got velvet Elvis up on the wall, velvet, dishes, plates.
Don't need that
bath towels. Just it was like Elvis lived there.
Yeah.
She was loved Elvis. Loved it.
I was like
One of
that
our
with
neighbors
this.
when I was a kid, she was going to an Elvis concert. So she had on this big black wig that was long. She put on this mini skirt and the black boots and had tons of jewelry, makeup. And I was like, what the heck? Does she think she's going to walk up to him? You know? I don't
We
know.
all hoped when we went, you know. God, that's the dream.
So I went to Graceland twice in my life, and
nice.
one of the times, the second time I went, when they took you on the tour, you know, he's buried on the grounds.
Sorry, can I interrupt 1 second?
Yes, go.
Have you seen his gravestone?
I saw it.
Is it spelt correctly?
I gotta go pull the pictures up. I'm gonna go dig in the attic and get those pictures because this is how long ago this was. We didn't have these, and we didn't have.
I hear you.
The cameras. You had to go get the film developed.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have those in a photo album. I need to go dig it out. I have those, and spelled correctly.
Because I'm like, all these grave sites around that people keep taking, this is this, and now I'm going, is it really? Is it really? Is it? Yeah. But damn.
But the second time I went, there were some people that were from, I want to say Maine or somewhere over there on that side. And this one lady, she must have been an Elvis freak. She got on her knees and cried at Elvis's grave, bawling, freaking crying at the tour people to come help her up. She fell out. And this was in like 1989 or somewhere up in there, 88.
Still distraught that he
Which really wasn't that long because he died in what, 77?
77, yeah.
Yeah. So really wasn't, but she fell out. I was like, hey, what in the world? I was like, okay, lady. It was really bad.
Yeah, It
was really bad. It was scary.
Yeah.
I got to go in his jet. I got to go look in his plane. Got to go down in the rumble room, and
nice.
They had, you could look in it, you couldn't go in it. And you could take pictures, but you couldn't use a flash because they say too much light fades out the colors over the years.
Or what you might find.
So I have
a
roll of freaking film of Elvis's house that you can't see anything, because you needed a flash.
Yeah.
You can make out some of the things. Yeah. So, but it's still really cool to go check it out. Yeah,
for sure. That would be quite a cool sight.
One person. Not imagine being that obsessed with a person. No matter who it is.
Yeah. I'm obsessed over Jesus. I'm not obsessed over you as a person.
I was just going to say you're going to be obsessed with God. Yeah.
I don't talk to Elvis every day. I'll talk to God every day. He's probably tired of me talking to him, but I'll talk to him.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, not Elvis.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's just, so many lose their prime because it's either, I don't know if it's the money or, it's always the money, drugs, the fame, blah, 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 blah. It's just somehow something stupid happens, What you going to do, right?
Fame comes with a price.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't want it. Nope. Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, no. Could just, no. Not that kind of fame of today. It's.
I mean, Elvis couldn't even walk out of his house.
He's sorry?
Elvis could not jump in his car and go to Pack-a-Sack and get a carton of cigarettes. He couldn't do it.
Can you imagine? When he first did, I've seen some old footage before he got super, like when he was really young and the girls would come to the house and lined up and this and that. And he was signing autographs. Like, back in the day, even back then, it was still kind of, you could do that stuff by the 70s or 80s. No way. No wonder what band, too many people and crazy shit going on, right?
That's right.
But, hello, Monty.
Hey, Monty. How's it going?
Somebody's up late. Monty's had no sleep. Come on up, Monty.
Yeah.
You can take my
Lisa
plate.
Was saying, you piqued my interest.
Bonnie got to drop the link for Monty.
I love Elvis. Yeah, And the one thing that's really weird that was kind of funny, I ended up really liking the movie Jesus Christ Superstar, the original.
I did too.
And for Christmas, I was given the double album and whatever.
Mm.
Well, going into grade 8 music class, what did we study? Jesus Christ Superstar. Best I ever got. I knew the whole words and everything. And of course, the kids in the room were just looking at me like,
yeah, she's afraid.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I was the nerd from like grade 7 to like through to high school. Grade 12, I kind of started, I think, but grade 12, you're supposed to be the top and the older and all that. So, but he really picked on me by that time. But man, I'm telling you, kids are nasty. You're either on the good side getting picked on, or you're the one doing the picking on. It's you might be the odd person in between that just kind of sat back and was quiet, but yep.
I always fit in well with the odd people for some reason.
I've never followed the normal thing, right? Like 16 years old, I was roller skating, and all my friends were like 20-ish kind of thing. Like my mentality was like, I don't like anybody around my age. I'm mentality wise, I'm up here. But I don't know if that's a girl thing too. Maybe.
That's a girl thing. Girls mature a lot faster.
The guys I'm like looking at my age are going,
yeah. My son's going through that right now. I mean, he's trying to date girl. Well, he's still in college, so he's not wanting to settle down. He has some girlfriends. They go out, but he's like, Dad, all these girls, they want to date older guys. And the reason they want to date older guys is because the guys their age, they suck. They treat girls like shit. When my son turned 17, he went on his first date. And if I had him in this room now, he'd be shouting at me, Daddy, don't tell this story. But I took his butt and I said, I want you to come with me. I want to talk to you. He said, Daddy, please don't talk about sex. I said, no, I'm going, not that. I said, I want to show you and give you some tips on how to treat a girl.
Say that again, you get garbled.
I wanted to give him some tips on how to treat a girl that you're going out on a date with. Because this was his first date.
Yep.
So opening doors, being nice, being patient, not rushing.
Women hate being rushed.
Yeah. Don't,
My husband still does it.
That's a good dad.
So he got it. Most of it, he said, Dad, I kind of figured that, But the problem is a lot of girls, if you act like we like to be treated or we treated girls, they look at you, what's wrong with that guy? I opened my own damn door. Get out of the way. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And I told him that. I'm like, if the girl wants to do her own thing, just let her do it. You'll know.
Women's lib. Get out of my way. Yep.
But that's what's wrong with society now.
It is.
Women have made it to where they're almost untouchable to men, and that's what's wrong with the whole. Yeah. We're supposed to have a mate.
You're supposed to be courted. You're supposed to be courted and treated a certain way, treated like you're gold, because you are. Yes. You're gold. You're supposed to be treated that way.
And the husband should be the same way too.
Don't like that is because they weren't raised that way. They weren't ever shown this is how a guy treats you.
Oh, you got that right.
The sex part is the easy thing, but learning how to be compatible with someone, that's where the challenge is.
Communication, big time.
That's the challenge, right?
Yep.
Right.
But the men haven't been taught it either.
No. That's true.
Well, I also taught my daughter on how a guy's supposed to treat her. And I told her, if guys ever treat you this way or this way, punch him right in the nose and then kick him in the balls and call me. And I'll finish it if I need to.
You go, Dad.
Knock him out. But my daughter's tough. Yeah, she's
my daughter too.
Spitfire. Yep. She's barely 5 foot tall, and she's a little spitfire. Nice. She reminds me of my mother. She does not hold her tongue. If she don't like the way your hair looks or the way you dress, she'll say, that really looks like shit. I'm like, girl, stop that. Yeah.
That
Oh
kind of
yeah.
sounds like mine. Yeah,
She
but she's
does.
6 foot.
I think she's gonna be fine. You know, she'll be. Well, she's 20. She's 20. She'll be 21 in May, and she's gonna make it.
To go back that far, go with mine.
I don't want to go back that far if I don't have my knowledge.
I
Because I
always
have
end
too
up going
much
to bed
knowledge I
and
don't want to
dreaming.
lose.
I dream of my kids being little because I guess I miss them so much
Oh,
being little.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, my son to be like 8, 10 years old again. It's like, oh, I miss those days. I'm sure
Yeah.
every parent feels the way. We just don't want to let go of that inner innocence, that inner child, and it's like, oh, you were so cute then, and now I got to give you off to the world and the wolves, and hope you make it.
I mean, I'm sure y'all might do this too, but when I see a new couple, like across the street from us, there's a new couple. They just had a baby earlier this year. And I finally got to see it. And I'm like, you taking a lot of pictures? Are you hugging and kissing that baby? Oh, yeah. I said, you're going to snap your finger and it's going to be gone. I said,
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Take a lot of pictures.
I've missed 16. Oh, wait a minute. Well, a year and a half of seeing my granddaughter up close and huggable. So to find out finally yesterday that I'm gonna see her at Christmas is elation.
Yeah.
But that was the hardest time to let go, between 3 and 5 years of age, when they're just right at that age. It's like, can't get it back. But what do you do? You just gotta accept it and go forward, right?
This scamdemic we've gone through has really hurt so many families.
Yep.
Kept so many families from seeing their loved ones. My mom died in 2019, and she ended her last few days in a nursing home because she had congestive heart failure, and she had to have immediate medical attention. We tried to move her in with one of my siblings, but she had an attack. She had a problem, and you had to call the ambulance. And we're like, and you just want to cry because you had to put her in a nursing home. But and then one of my sisters and one of my brothers was with her the moment she passed away, and they called us and said, "Come on up." But I look back on that and I go, you know what? I'm glad my mama died before the COVID hit, because they locked down all the nursing homes.
Yeah.
So
would have had it worse.
I look back now and I see those people who've lost their loved ones in the nursing home, people who died alone because of this crap, and they wouldn't even let them see them. They wouldn't even let them go see their own parents, and they're dying. Well, no, they're dying, but they might catch COVID. I'm like, what?
Yep.
Just all bullshit.
It is bullshit, and I'm glad my mother passed before that happened, because I would either be in jail or I'd be in a crazy house right now, because that would not work with me.
Actually, I got a bit of an apology because my son-in-law, he's somewhat of a hypochondriac too.
Yeah.
So when this all hit, they were both very sticklers, kind of thing, whatever, right? And one point in time, like, you got to have your group of 8 or 10 or whatever people, kind of thing, right? You would think family included. Okay, well, sure. I realize I'm a 4-hour drive away. But at the same time, I hadn't worked in how long. I haven't been sick in how long. Neither is my husband. But that wasn't good enough. Still couldn't come around. And nope, not even if I wear a mask. No, you guys aren't vaccinated. No. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, this is... So when I got the phone call and we had a good long chat about it, I'm like, please don't tell me it's going to be another Zoom Christmas. No, I'm get through whatever. They're all vaccinated, whatever else. That's fine. But just like, thank goodness I get to see her and I get to hug her. It's just, seeing them even on my face. I mean, technology is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I can pick up a phone and have that face-to-face kind of conversation. It's still not the same as being in the
how
same
humans
room.
are designed.
Exactly.
Humans are designed to touch one another, to love one another, to be in the company. It's not designed to do what we're doing.
And that's why they tried to take it away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you have to have that closeness. And so what's first thing? 6 feet apart.
And that doesn't do anything.
I don't understand this crap.
No.
Oh, it's like the double masking. I'm like,
That
really?
doesn't
Now you
matter.
think we need 2 masks? Come on. Like,
And there's lots of fucking. Sorry, there's
And go into speech.
next person's guess.
there's so many people that have double masks on that you just want to slap them silly.
What's that? Silly?
Yeah, but you know, it's different down here for us because of all that. We haven't been hit as hard as some of you guys have, being locked down, and
Yeah.
down here we just basically told
Do what we want to
everybody,
do.
we're not doing it. We're just not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to put a
Yep.
mandate. Yeah, go ahead. We're not doing it. You can do it all you want.
So,
Yep.
and a lot of that has to do with because you guys are in small places. Where I am, we got 200,000 people here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're still going into in a grocery store, wear the mask, put your little antibacterial on.
Right.
I got so fed up one day because this is like the 5th store I've gone to. It was Bulk Barn. And, I don't know, the kid's got to do his duty, but I just walked right through the door. Excuse me, you got it. I'm like, oh my God. I said, I have nothing left on my hands for all the freaking crap I'm putting on.
Right.
Like, do you realize all this shit putting on your hands, by the way, it ruins your natural immunity.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
the, what do you call it? Receipt paper that when you go grocery shopping and you get all that inked paper, whatever, if you keep using this antibacterial and whatever else on your hands, it allows the ink to get in even easier
Because it opens up your pores and it lets it.
You've
Right.
taken away the natural whatever, and it's like
Yeah.
it's such a vicious circle. Round and round
Well,
and round we go.
My son in last year, 2020, he got COVID, and on a Friday he complained that he didn't feel good, and he had a fever of 99. So the next morning he gets up, he still had that little fever, and he didn't feel bad, but he just didn't feel right. So my wife took him in and got him tested, and he had it. But by then we had all been exposed. All 4 of us. There's 4 of us in the house. So fast forward about 3 weeks before that, I got with an online doctor, and I started taking these vitamins, and I got my family on it, and we all were taking vitamins. And now, whether or not that helped, I don't know. But so we were directly exposed, and none of us got it. My son was the only one that got it. His fever broke on the 3rd day. It really wasn't even a fever. 99 is not really a fever.
No, that's not too
his
bad.
fever broke on the 3rd day, and he lost his smell and his taste, and that was it. That's all he ever had. That was it. And I pumped the vitamins in him. I made him go outside and sit in the sun, soak up some vitamin D, and I drank a lot of fluid. And he was fine. He's like, Dad, I'm fine. And we never got sick. So it wasn't long after that. I got in touch with frontlinedoctors.org, and I've been under a doctor's care for about 8 months now, almost 9 months. And I have a prescription. As a matter of fact, it's right here. It's the hydroxy. Right here. I've been taking this as a prophylactic since then, and my wife is on it as well. My wife and I have been exposed to it that we know because we kind of quarantined for a little while.
Right.
We've been exposed 4 times this year, directly exposed to it, and we've had no symptoms, not one.
Wow.
So I ordered these off of the internet. That is home test.
Oh, testing. Okay.
Yes. So the doctor told me, he said, look,
We get those.
He said, get you a home test. I'm going to send you some meds. He said, if you're exposed or think you're exposed, check yourself. He said, if you're positive, call us back. I'm going to overnight you some meds that start with the letter I,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to send you a Z-Pack and some other stuff, and you're going to take that, and you're going to be fine. And then there's a place in another town that does the monoclonal antibody gene therapy. What they do is they put antibodies in you. He said you go do that as well if you happen to get it. And this doctor is 60. He's 64 years old. He's didn't get the V, didn't get jabbed, and he sees patients every day, and he's never caught it. And he sees patients that are positive, and he's never caught it. It's in the same room with him, and he doesn't wear a mask. Will not wear a mask.
Wow.
So
Gotcha.
I can tell you on my own, from just me, my investigating into this over the last year or so, you know, there's always been treatment for this, but for some reason these bastards don't want to. They don't care. They don't want to hear nothing about it.
No, because it doesn't cost as much.
They just as soon go to the hospital and let you die.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm stepping down. You guys have a great night. I love you all. Mwah,
All
mwah,
right,
mwah.
Dorinda.
Good
to talk to you.
Night. Love
Take
you.
care, Linda. Thank you.
So, but you
Yeah,
know, there is
see-
treatment
Well,
for this stuff. So
See,
if
and
you
that's
get
what I believe in too. The body has its own natural abilities
Yeah.
and whatever else. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if there's stuff out there that we just might not be able to handle, but it irritates me that there's no freedom over your own body.
Yeah,
You want to take it, you want. I've never taken a flu shot. I've never taken anything.
I know.
I ended up taking one Pfizer dose in October because my husband has been, because of his job, has to
Well, you gotta
have.
work.
Yeah,
You gotta work.
exactly. And he's right at that age where he has to continue the next 5 years to get his pension, da da.
Mhm.
So because he's doing it, I'm like, all right, everybody else, I'm also, whatever. No issues, no problems, no nothing, so
Yeah.
far, all that. I have been told by someone who looked into the ingredients, if you're a redhead person, if you've got that type of background of hereditary redhead, apparently Moderna is the best thing for redheads. Else Pfizer is supposed to be the better way to go. AstraZeneca, nope. Not as good, whatever.
But they don't work.
I mean,
They just don't work, GG. They just
yeah.
they don't
See,
work.
and that's where I kind of go, okay, so,
They just don't
you
work.
expect me to have
Yeah.
another one and another one and a booster, and I'm like, this is a bunch of
Yeah.
nonsense to me. Okay, I've had one in my arm. To me, I'm vaccinated. If you don't like the fact that I've had one, piss
Yeah.
off. Like, at least I've done it. I don't even believe in it. I haven't been sick in 3 years. It's
Right.
been, I was sick in 2019 at some point of whatever. Maybe it was even COVID back then, for all I know. But else, I haven't been sick. I take good care of myself. I try to take good vitamins and whatever. And to me, that is the key. We are such a society that does not eat properly, take care of ourselves, good
Right.
sleep, good, whatever. So, of course, we succumb to it. Being the older generation, of course, the older generation is going to get it bad. And of course, they're going to pass. It's more of a known fact that if they've got other issues going on, they get that. Same like a pneumonia or anything else. Gonna do the. So it's a bit of a scare factor in there too. It's like, yeah, it's like an upgraded flu, but we should be allowed the choice of what we should do. Not the whole world sits there goes, no, you have to. If you want to go to work and you want to this, you want to that, blah blah blah.
Right.
Like, but we're in that day and age. We're fighting for our freedom for everything. It seems.
I mean, I don't fault anyone for doing it. Especially if they have to. My siblings are all vaccinated. I'm the black sheep. I'm.
I was a black sheep up until
and two of my siblings have had it, and they're fully vaccinated. And I'm.
Yeah. See, there you go too.
And I'm
right.
just going.
It mutates and it's changing, and it's just like this.
Well, it's just my
I've never
belief.
had a flu shot, and to me, I'm like, well, if you're telling me it changes it all the time, why am I taking a flu shot? It's changing all the time.
Once you start taking those, I think you have to keep taking them because your immune system gets wiped out. I don't
know
think
about
it's the same.
it might be fighting off maybe certain
Some things, I don't
whatever
know.
it is,
See,
but
but
your
that's just it,
natural
GG. We don't know, do we? We just
no,
don't know.
that's
It
just
just,
it. We're
you know,
relying on scientists out there telling us
yeah,
stuff, and we have to hope and pray that what they're telling us is the truth.
right.
And that's the hard part
And they
because
keep changing
they're
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially this mask, no mask, double mask. Yeah, make up your mind. Like I want to breathe my air, thanks.
It's
Because they don't know either.
Yeah.
Devil Dog put out some links the other day, and I copied them. And on CDC's website, there is a write up on there about masks on their website, and it says in black and white that they do not work. It's on
Yeah.
their
Yep.
website. When he put the links out, I forgot whose show he was on, but he
Yeah.
posted a bunch of links, and I was clicking on.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, let me read this one. Let me read this one. And he said in one of them, scroll down and look at face mask. And I did, and I read it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yep. Oh, I hear
Everybody
you.
is
I read
going
so
by
much
their
stuff on it too. Yep.
Everybody's
Like,
going off the CDC, what they're writing. So I go to
yep.
the CDC, and there it is in black and white on their website, and the bullshit continues.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
It just what do you believe anymore? It all
What are
depends
you
on how
gonna
they
do?
want to spin it sometimes. And yep.
I'm really surprised at the Methodist Hospital here in Texas, the way they're acting and firing employees and stuff like that. And like that one doctor that came out and she said they fired her. She had 2,000 patients, 2,000 positive, and gave them I
Yeah.
and no, she didn't give it to them. 30% of them were taking it on their own,
On their own, right?
like you see in the chats. And, but of the 2,000, because she was treating them with what she had heard and was working, not one of those 2,000 patients ended up in the hospital. So
Yep.
that's why the Methodist Hospital was mad at her, and that's in Houston.
Right.
They suspended her. They will not let her practice with them anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's just I don't agree with all that stuff. It all goes back to freedom of speech, freedom of thinking too. You like just
You know, I
Yeah,
just thought of
and
something.
that's what she said.
I just thought of something that the information that I have, if anybody wants it, I wonder if we could do like a Zoom or something, because I have information if somebody gets sick, what I pretty much what I just told y'all. I mean,
mhm.
Hmm.
you could go to the AmericaOnlineDoctors.org and get the help you need. But I mean, if somebody would need somebody to talk to, I could share what little information I have of what I've been given, because I have a plan. I mean, my family, we have a plan. If one of us gets it, we have a
Yep.
plan. This is what
Yep.
we're going to do. This is how we're going to fight it. And it's like the doctor told me. He said, John, you may not nothing may come of it. It may not hit you hard. He said, but don't chance it. He said, don't mess around with it.
Yeah.
Don't sit
Yeah.
home and take Robitussin and do nothing, wait it out. Don't do that. He said, because that's what's killing people. They don't do anything. He said, take
Yeah.
action, have a plan, and if you get it, knock it out. Is
Yep.
it overkill? How is it overkill? There's no such
Yep.
thing. You're trying
Yep.
to save your life.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and I took his advice, and I mean, um,
Maybe
he
think about the
was telling me
vitamins. Mhm.
he was telling me that a lot of the people that are dying in the hospitals, they wait until they're gasping for breath to go to the emergency room, and by then it's too late
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
allowed the virus to completely take them over.
Mhm.
And some people, you know how this thing is. Some people, it hits them hard, hits them really hard.
It just goes to show you
Yeah,
how much we
it
don't
did my
trust
son.
doctors
I've,
because we're all
I've,
waiting to the
I've lost
last minute to go in.
I've
I'd be the
lost
same
four
way.
friends from it. I've
Yep.
lost four friends from it, and they did nothing. They got no help,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
and they're our age, you know.
And it's scary, yeah, because
And that
you
doctor
never
told me,
know.
he said, have a plan, and he went over it and over it and over it, drilled it into my head. Of course, thank God I haven't gotten sick. Of course, he told me, he said, John, you may have already had it and you don't even know it. Because a lot of people have no symptoms,
Hmm.
absolutely none.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you probably have antibodies and don't even know it.
That's very true. Very
But I'm
true.
not taking any chances. If I get sick or one of my family members gets sick, we have a plan in place. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it.
Yep.
You know, and
That's awesome.
and I'm just saying I could share. It's not much information. You know, we can't talk like we really want to on here. But if anybody wanted
Yeah.
to do a Zoom or something, you know, if somebody gets sick, I mean, they're more than welcome to get in touch with me, and I'll just give them what information I have, what vitamins I'm using. I'm not saying they work because I don't know, but I haven't been sick, and my
I
my
suppose one
family's
way
not.
to
Yeah.
one way to get around it is you could talk certain things on a video, but then leave the information underneath, which is written.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
And
not real
then you
good
don't get
on
ding
YouTube
that way
stuff.
too. Yeah, there some things there's ways to get around, but it's a real pain in the ass. It's just ridiculous that we have to go
Right.
that far. You know.
I mean, but
I know it.
the website is the main thing I would tell anyone to go to and get help, because these are real doctors and they will write you prescriptions and rush them to your house. They'll tell you exactly what to do, exactly how to do it.
Mhm.
And that's,
Sounds like
Was it
you got a
was
plan.
it Frontline or American?
I'm sorry, say again.
Was it Frontline or American?
Um, let me see what it is.
Frontline.
America's
I know
Frontline,
I've seen Frontline.
America's
Oh, okay.
Frontline Doctors.org.
All right, you
They'll
two.
do
Hmm?
they'll do an online visit with you. They do charge you. I mean, they charge you like a doctor's fee. I think it's like, I don't know what it was, $40 or something. You know, to have a
My doctor was only 40.
yeah, to have a consult with them, and then but they'll give you all the information on what to do. And these
Yep.
doctors they're us. They're one of us. They're not
Yep.
they're not hiding anything. They're going to tell you exactly how to beat it.
I have to go to my doctor tomorrow, and I'm going to ask her about all that, how she feels about it.
Yeah, here I
Now that
haven't talked
she's
to my
good.
family doctor in forever.
Mine makes me go to her once a year to get my refills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
For
I hear you. Actually, I must be due soon.
I'm on one prescription, but it's a controlled substance, so I have to go in once a year so she can see. Yeah, I'm still psychotic.
Aren't we all, girl? Aren't we all?
Bonnie, you're not crazy anymore. No pills for you.
Well, let me prove it.
Yeah.
It's just for panic. And
I'm not crazy. My mom had me tested.
what y'all were
I got-
talking about a while ago, though, I have noticed throughout all the channels, almost all of us call ourselves the black sheep of the family.
Yep.
Almost all of us are like, we're always with the underdogs, like kind of hanging out with the underdogs, and it's so cool to me the way all of us as different as we are so much alike in so many ways.
That's because we're all connected
And
That's right.
spiritually. We're all
yes,
connected, every one of
and
us.
yes, and
You
that's what I
got it.
said at the beginning of this. The everyone keeps waiting for the awakening and waiting for everybody to wake up. It's happened. Everyone has woke up. I don't
Yeah,
know why they keep saying they're
I don't
waiting for
know
them
either.
to wake up.
Yeah.
Everyone has woke up. The whole solution to all of this is
Love thy neighbor.
accepting Jesus as your savior,
Yeah,
believing in God,
yeah.
talking to God, get your light shining, and pray. And
And live
I'm
your life.
telling you, yes, and live your life. And
Don't
if
be afraid.
everybody gets that light shining and that
Yeah.
energy going,
Hmm.
we are we have got
Yeah,
this. That's how we do it. And I mean, it may come down to there's there's some people that if if it gets bad where they are, I'm sure that they will fight and
yeah.
however they feel fit. But I don't really see that happening here, but I don't know. Sometimes I see some news and that I'm kind of like, could this really happen here?
Yeah.
I had
Hear
seen
ya.
one about one of the school districts uh, saying that they were bringing in agents to force stuff on the kids, and I was like, oh heck no, that is not happening here.
Well, the people have to
And that's
stand
when I
up.
told,
They just have to
yeah,
stand up.
and
Yep.
that I already had a discussion with my sheriff because I called him up and I said, we need to have a little talk. And he was more than willing to talk to me. He has worked the border. He's mad as we are,
Good.
and he's he's constitutional. And I said, okay, so if any three-letter tries to come breaking through our doors, and he said, not in my county,
Right.
period. And I was like, all right. And I said, and you can deputize? And he said, anyone of sound mind, and I will.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
said, okay, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Bonnie, I gotta head out. It's
I do
later
too.
for me in
I
the
got to get
Yeah,
to
state.
bed.
yeah. I'm
Oh
going to
no,
need
I'm
to
shutting the
shut it
party
down.
off.
I'm going to sing the crawfish
No,
song.
it's okay.
We'll sing
Is
that
it bad
together
if
on
I play
Wednesday
the
morning.
intro again?
Is it what?
Is it bad? Is it bad if I play the intro again, leaving? I just
No,
Oh,
love
you
it.
play it because I enjoyed
Eugene,
it. Yeah.
that's so
you
cute.
did
I'm
such a
glad you
good
love it.
job on that. Oh, I do. Flipping love
But I
it.
tell you, I want to that website. I'm going. I gotta upgrade it. I can't. Every time I download it and we play it, it's such crappy speed. I'm like, that's why they want you to pay the money to get the better quality. I'm like, you friggers, man. Because it's driving me crazy knowing it should run better. Because I'm telling you,
I
if
don't
you
know
saw
how
what
you
I
could,
saw, hmm?
I don't know how you could make it any better. To
No, the
me, the
quality of
quality
the
is,
speed. Oh, no, because it doesn't play 100% the right speed it's supposed to. It for whatever reason after it downloads, because it's only at a 480 or whatever it is. If it would
all right,
play at the
what
proper
happened?
speed, it'd be a lot better. But I'm just being fusspot. Okay, I love you. Good night, all. Let's
All
end
right.
with a nice little tune.
Yeah. Play it out. I want to listen to it one more time.
I put the wrong thing in there. Hang- you need to go away.
My dog is snoring.
And
Hey, my cats snore.
you, okay, is
One
it?
cat's like
Nope,
21
I think
pounds.
this is it.
That's a big cat.
Yeah, and he's the biggest suck there is too. I love him.
Okay. There it is. Okay. Got it.
You go, girl.
Get it going.
I love the music. I'm so glad I picked that music. That was
You did a nice job. Really nice.
yep. Yes, that's me on the horse.
That's what I thought of.
Hey, Chef.
Yay, that was nice.
And that's what it's all about. Life.
And
Living
That's right.
life.
That's right.
Bonnie, thank you so much for having me up. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
Nice seeing you too,
Thank
John.
you for coming up,
See, Jane.
John.
God bless
I
y'all. Good
enjoyed
night.
it too.
God bless y'all
Love
too.
you
God
all.
bless
Good
you.
night.
Y'all sleep tight.
You too.
See you later. Bye bye.
Shep and Lisa, it's good to see y'all. Thank you for stopping in. Pray.
Night,
Let your light
Lisa.
shine.
Good night,
Stay
whoever else is in
positive.
there. That's right. Think positive always.
Love y'all. Good night.